accompanied by trainee number 1 from France. He is Monster Mack.
Holy frickin' crap, everybody! It's me, Monster Mack, and it's time for another Mackcast. As always, I'm Monster Mack. I just mentioned that. And on the side of me is the always ever so handsome trainee number 1.
Mack, you paused in between Mackcast like you were confused what we were bringing them.
Excuse me, my friend. The only confusion here is you because you're going to edit the sound effects in later. Dun dun dun! The Mackcast!
I'm not putting in any sound effects.
That's what the pause was
It's
for.
not. No way, dude. It's not happening. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we are happy to currently be inside of a house of bricks with none other than a New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer himself, BrickHouse Baker. BrickHouse, what's up, man?
What's going on, fellas?
Usually, I do like a little bit of an intro, and then we bang out some Mack news, which you'll be involved in the Mack news because some of it involves the dates and all these good things. But Mack, where the hell have we been?
I believe that was France. You were there. What do you mean, where the hell we been?
Well, that's what the people have been wondering. There's been no posts. Like
that was
we have very limited Wi-Fi in France.
That was a quotation. I see. Yeah, we went to France. We really needed a little time away. You know, we just became NWW Extreme Tag Team Champions, and we went up to France to do some training. I rode the French Le Corps. What is it? Le Tour de France. Yeah, I was on that in the hotel on the bicycle.
It was one of those replica bikes. That just because you rode the treadmill that said Tour de France on it doesn't mean you rode the Tour de France.
What? That's not what it is.
No,
No, I rode it for like good 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's not it, dude. That's not it.
The visuals are very nice on there. But we also are stock on wine. Our French wine was running low, so we needed to take a trip to France to stock up on the French wine.
It's unbelievable how much wine they let you smuggle into the United States.
Yeah, you just take a bunch of suitcases. You have to pay for the first one, of course. The second one. The first one's free. But anyways, it's been pretty good, and I'm very excited for this Mackcast because the fans been waiting for a while for a Mackcast, and we tried getting some hookups. We wanted to hook you guys up before our trip to France, but we did give you the Jose podcast. Excellent stuff. We were trying to give you the back-to-back, but we're here tonight, giving it to you right now.
Mack, before we get started on the official podcast, I want to say this is the first one of hopefully many. Mack, this podcast is sponsored by NewRepublicPrinting.com. People always ask us, Mack and Trainee, how do you keep your t-shirt prices so low? And it's because we go to NewRepublicPrinting.com, and that's the truth, folks.
Oh, New Republic's bringing me the most comfortable sweater I ever wear, trainee number 1.
You're rocking. If you don't know, Mack is rocking the brand new Mackcast hoodie available at monstermac.net for only $20, Mack.
If only the people could see me instead of just listening to my wonderful voice, they would know that I am wearing this sweet, sweet new Mackcast hoodie. It's excellent. Oh, my God. Is it warm in here, Baker?
I don't know. You guys are like got masks on, so it might be a little hot.
I'm so comfortable, I don't even know what I am right now. I just know I'm comfortable.
Well, that's
Mack,
good.
That's NewRepublicPrinting.com. You can find them on Facebook under that name, New Republic Printing, or on Twitter at NRepublicPrint. And tell them Mack and Trainee sent you. Hopefully they'll give you the hookup too. But great quality stuff, fast, efficient. They still screen print, so it's not that weird direct-to-garment printing stuff that wears out real quick. It's top-notch stuff, folks. I'm a big fan. You should be too.
Yeah, local businesses out there, if you're looking for a good place to get some sweet hoodies or other apparel, I would definitely check it out.
They got buttons and postcards and, all kinds of random stuff. Check it out, folks. But that's the end of that, Mack. That was a little awkward. I'm not going to lie.
What? You didn't like my plug?
No. I just feel like New Republic Printing should get as much props as possible, but I don't want to feel like we're selling out. But it's shirts that we like actually use. You know what I mean?
I'm just enjoying this hoodie that much, Trini. I'll plug what I want. All right.
Okay. All right. He's just loving the hoodie that much. All right, folks. NewRepublicPrinting.com. Check it out. In the studio, which is not really a studio, it is a brick building. We're in the House of Bricks, Mack.
I expected more bricks, to tell you the truth, BrickHouse.
Well, hey, can't live in glass houses, so I can't really afford to live in a brick house. It'd be kind of cold, wouldn't it?
So BrickHouse, usually we start with if you were a fan as a child, how you got into the business. But I wanted to kind of start with the retirement match first, because that was the big moment recently, and it's how we started the Jose podcast too.
Oh, it's a flash forward or back or what?
Yeah, like sometimes when a movie starts, they show you the ending first, and they go back to the beginning.
Pulp Fiction?
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna Pulp Fiction this bitch.
Oh, that's me and Jose's career.
Yeah. How did you feel going into the PAL that night?
All right, well, I mean, a lot of people don't know, but a friend of mine at 23 years old passed away, and I went to his wake before I even went to the show. I've been wrestling 23 years, and he was 23, and he always went to my shows and PAL Hall and stuff like that. So I was already heartbroken before I even left to go to the show, and I was just pressing for time. And, I got there and stuff like that. And, emotions were a little mixed up. Rough night.
Yeah.
But a good night.
Certainly was a good night. I don't know what the total number was. I know it was 300 plus in the PAL that night. You've got to feel pretty happy that the turnout was just so overwhelming for you and Jose.
Oh, it is overwhelming. I mean, come on, think about it. I mean, it's not like I had to sell out the Madison Square Garden, but to see the people that we actually impacted in pro wrestling as fans, as growing up from kids to being adults and bringing their own kids to see us, I mean, that's a great feeling. I mean, and to do it in a building that has history of me and Jose, I mean, a lot of history. It was very overwhelming. I mean, it was special, let me tell you.
Now, you mentioned earlier it wasn't just the fans in attendance that it touched you, but it was the guys upstairs sitting in the balcony. Who meant a lot
mean,
too.
When you go to a show, this is my retirement match, Jose too, and when you look around and you see an audience and you go, okay, but before the show started, they closed the balcony.
Yeah.
And they wanted to keep the crowd on the floor. And Lord and behold, that we didn't know that we were going to have over a half-hour line outside going up the street to open the balcony. I mean, very, very overwhelming. I mean, unbelievable. And to go out that way is phenomenal.
I would just say I love being actually a part of the show. We were in the Rumble. And just to be a part of the whole thing was pretty awesome. I got Rupia talking right now. Thank you for the Rupia, by the way. Mack is...
Sorry about the root beer. We could have took the root out, but I didn't have any beer. So sorry about that one.
Mack, would that go down the wrong pipe or something, buddy?
What happened there?
We've shared some locker rooms with you, BrickHouse and Jose, in the past before. And that night, like you said, it was real different. You and Jose didn't really spend any time together. It was just kind of a hello, and then you sat down. I seen you yell at some kid for wearing MMA gloves. That was pretty funny.
I mean, I understand that you're a pro wrestler, but the MMA gloves, everybody knows the Undertaker wears them.
Yeah.
But that's fine for the Undertaker. I mean, but to be a young guy in wrestling, you need MMA gloves. I don't know what sport you're in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What move you going to do to me,
I see. I wish you would have given me the MMA glove warning before, because I rocked them bad boys for a little bit. Training them on used to tell me all the time, but...
It's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Well, I wore gloves. I mean, everybody knows I wore gloves. But
Yeah,
I wore
mine were
biker
too
gloves.
padded.
Right. Yeah, a little bit.
I'd say so. I remember seeing the kid with him, seeing you call him over and talk to him from a distance,
Right.
and then half an hour later, him taping his hands up because he had no gloves on anymore.
Right.
I was like,
well, it's just
BrickHouse dropped some knowledge.
just to help them out a little, a lot of guys, they don't know, you know what I mean, and just guidance. Some guys we can rib, some guys will just go, hey, dude, you got to do this. You know? what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And if they listen, they listen. If they don't, hey, oh well.
I remember thinking that just that night. Like, this is BrickHouse's last match. And what he's doing, he's sitting here talking to some kid who's doing a battle royal probably for the first or second time. And BrickHouse is just trying to teach him, like, come over here and listen to me for a little while. I'll tell you something. And I just thought that was real cool. Now, the match itself with you and Jose, it got crazy. And I didn't expect anything less from you two, to tell you the truth. But I was up on the balcony. I went and joined people up there, and I seen you hang Jose off of the thing, and I've seen that before.
Yeah.
And Jose came back up before.
No, Jose, he didn't come back up this time. Actually,
He did not come back up this time.
I was hanging him by his neck.
And I seen some photos and some quick video from fans, and it was just. And then I looked, and you were leaning over the edge, and then I turned and I looked back, and I seen you drop. And I said, what the fuck happened to BrickHouse?
You get old, you know, senile, don't know where you're going half the
Yeah,
time.
you thought those were the stairs? You were
There's
trying
too many Jose shots, I'm telling you.
How did you feel about the match itself? Like,
It ended, like, fast. And I know it didn't. I know we did a lot for what we did. You know, just telling a story about everything we've ever done in one match.
Yeah.
Just to, you know, we knew why we were there. I knew why the fans were there. I knew why the building was packed like it was. And, you know, the match itself was everything I actually thought it was going to be.
yeah,
When me and Jose get together,
shit gets wild.
we're never calm.
Right,
We're
right,
never
yeah.
calm. So,
And I remember one of the last times I seen you guys wrestle was same building barbed wire match at the PAL.
yeah, 2006.
And that was, again, insanity with you two.
Yeah, well, everybody thought we were crazy. I mean, and we got scars from it.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't kind of gimmick the wire
Right,
per
right,
se.
yeah,
we
yeah.
just left it as is.
So, yeah, it's
off
barbed
the
wire.
roll. Yeah,
Probably-
a little sharper.
Yeah, than you thought.
But yeah, that was insane. That was my first ever no rope barbed wire match ever. And when we were done, and you know, with all the holes we had in us, in the you know, I slit my hand wide open. Jose slit his back open and his head open, and I slit my head open, and Jesus, there was blood everywhere. It's just, I told him I'll never do that again.
No more no rope.
No, that's done.
Barbed wire
That's done.
spot here or there, that's fine. But
I mean, yeah, that's just wow. Yeah, good stuff.
yeah,
Good,
certainly.
good memories. Still sitting here to
I
talk
have-
to you
I
about it.
was gonna
That's
say,
for
I
sure.
have memories of sitting in the crowd and watching those matches. You know what I mean? Just being awestruck. Like, what the hell are these two dudes doing?
Just doing what we was told to do. Go out there and put on a heck of a show for a bunch of people. You know, and we just kill each other, and it's fun. We love it. The stiffer the better. It's like, you know, and people are like, oh, you know, wrestling's this, that. Me and Jose, we just look at each other and go, okay, man, you're gonna get it, and so are you. You know, it's not about, oh, you go over this, you go now. Actually, no. Everything we do is just right off right from my brains, man.
Yeah.
You hit me, I hit you. It's that simple.
And you mentioned it earlier, and I thought it was a great quote. But it was, you said when you went into that match with Jose, the winner and the loser, it didn't matter to you. When you seen them open up that balcony and the fans
Just
piling into the building like that,
like
you
I
felt
said,
like you were the
right, like I said, it's they closed the balcony. They even had signs up telling people they closed the balcony.
Yeah, I seen a photo online of just the sign on the floor.
Right.
yeah.
yeah, and then to know that somebody come up and said, hey, they opened the balcony, and I'm like, they opened the balcony, and then somebody else comes up and says, hey, there's a line outside going up the street. It's like a, you know, and it took 45 more minutes to start the show.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I said, it was just amazing way to go out. I tell you that.
It was a great night, and like I said, I'm real happy that we were a part of it. That was real cool. So BrickHouse, when you were a kid growing up, what was it that got you into wrestling? Did you bump into it on TV? Did you go into a family already fans?
No, actually, none of my family members ever in my family, no uncles, no great grandfathers, no nothing ever wrestled in my family.
Yeah.
I used to go and help my cousins with horses and stuff like that in the barns and stuff. And I would go in the house, and my uncle would be in the chair. And if you walked across the TV while wrestling was on, he would throw a fit.
Yeah, just flip
Hey,
out.
get out of the way, get out of the way. And I'd be like, what? Wrestling's on, move. And I'd sit down, and it'd be like, it's black and white because it's in the 70s.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there watching this TV, and I'm like, hey, who's that? And they'd be like, that's Ernie Ladd. And I'd be like, wow, that's a big guy, man.
Yeah, that is one
so
big
stuff
dude.
like that. And you're watching, wrestling. It was headlocks and wrist locks and just good stuff. Good wrestling is what it was.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I, started watching it then, and it's like, then I got more and more and
Started
more.
building.
It just catches your eye. It's just something about it catches your eye, and it's like, okay, I like this.
Yeah.
You know?
Now, were you one of those kids that was like, once you watched it, that was it? You would just, every show you watched, every time wrestling was on TV, you were on that TV,
Oh, glued.
glued to it.
Oh, glued. You knew when it came on. You knew if you were out on your bicycle riding around in the neighborhood. You knew what day it was and what time wrestling came on. Just like Creature Double Feature. Yeah, back to back, wrestling and Creature Double Feature. It doesn't get any better than that as a kid.
Who were some of your favorites as a child?
Well, as a kid growing up and watching it, I really was young watching it when, like I said, my uncle said, "Oh, that's Ernie Ladd" and stuff like that. But to remember like Tony Gurria,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, stuff like that. Cheat Day Strongbow, the Wild Samoans and stuff like that. That's when it really catches your eye. But you gotta remember, I watched what is it, UWF or whatever.
Yep.
You had Mid South, you know what I mean. You had once everybody went national, especially world class. When they went, oh my word, they went
When they went
worldwide.
everywhere, yeah.
Oh, jeez, that was it. We were all over wrestling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. We were having strap matches with my brothers in the living room. You know what I
Yeah.
mean. Good stuff.
So what was it? When did you start thinking like, hey man, I think I want to try to do some of this wrestling stuff? Like, obviously you're wrestling around with your brothers in the living room.
No, we didn't wrestle. We actually hurt each other.
Yeah, just just beat
great.
downs.
It was great. It was beat downs, but that was fun days, But no, I actually never thought about being a pro wrestler.
Never.
No, I actually always wanted to be a stuntman or a firefighter when I was a kid. Those are the two things I wanted to do.
I could see you as a stuntman.
Well, I do professional wrestling.
It might as well be the same, right?
Yeah, right, exactly.
I've heard Training once telling me that he actually wanted to be a stuntman before and a firefighter, believe it or not.
Yeah, no, that's what I wanted to be as a kid. So
Just
but-
running into burning buildings, crashing through things.
But yeah, but
Kind of like
no.
the same job.
To get into wrestling is it was behind the house. I was living down the street on Cogsall, and they had it on Bellevue Avenue.
Yeah.
And I was like, my cousins go, hey, there's wrestling around the corner. And I'm like, wrestling? Yeah, wrestling. How much are tickets? $3. I said, God, I don't want to go. I don't have $3.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. And I was like, nah. So I didn't go.
Yeah.
So the next time it came around, Joe would run every 2 weeks. They were running every 2 weeks, putting on a live show. So my cousins come again. Hey, they got wrestling again. Why don't you come with us? I'm like, nah, I'm cool. I got something else I got to do. Come on. So, like, the next time, they go, hey, don't give us an excuse. I said, why? They go, there's wrestling and you're going. I said, come on. I said, listen, we got you a ticket. I said, oh, man. So I ended up going.
Yeah.
And it was good. It was good. And it only took me about a few months to go watch their shows, and then my cousins kept telling me, hey, why don't you try it? It says it's got a school.
Yeah.
So
right.
I picked up the pamphlet and opened it up, went home and read it, and that was it. I walked in and asked who I could
you
talk
could talk
to become
yeah.
a wrestling, and it ended up being Dave Souza. Silvano Souza.
Now, after you sign up to the school, who's in your class? Who's students?
Oh, jeez, man. It was me, Rick Fuller, Blade Runner, Nick Steele, Paul Azon. Let me see, who else trained with us? Scott Taylor, Steve Ramsey, Shockwave, not the robot,
Yeah, pre that robot. Shockwave.
Colossus.
Yeah.
Did I already say Fuller?
Yep. Fuller. Yeah.
Fuller. He was a beast then too, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Good guy though.
I feel
Good
like that's
guy.
not gonna change.
Good
It's
guy.
just
Yeah,
a
that's
beast
all right.
forever,
That's
yeah.
all right. Good friend. Good guy. Just like, and then we had guys like that would come wrestle for us once we went over to Cogsall Street, and Chris Duffy, Phil Apollo, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, they actually had Triple H before he was Triple H. You know what I mean? So, yeah, a lot of guys.
There's a lot of names.
A lot of guys go through that gym. Go through that. That was good.
How long did it take training before your first actual match? And who was your trainer?
Silvano Souza was running the training. Yep. How long? Okay. For 2 weeks, I actually had to sit beside Souza and watch these guys practice. And he would tell me, "You showed us what you want to do. You showed us what," and that's what he kept asking me. What makes you want to do this? And I would say, instead of me saying like some people come and say, "Well, I watch SmackDown or Raw or I see it every Superstars,"
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I just said, I think I could be good at this. I'd like to give it a try. But man, he wouldn't let me get in that ring. He made me want it more by
Just
not
teasing
throwing
you
me
with
in
it,
there.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Just teasing.
Right, exactly. He wanted more. And then when I got in there, and then the guys are showing me bumps, and I'm taking them like I'm doing the bumps right.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, right away. And they're all looking like, "Have you
Naturally.
wrestled before?" And I'm like, "No, my brothers used to kick the shit out of me."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like,
This
"Oh,
is the best
wow."
way to fall when
Right,
somebody's kicking the
so,
shit out of
yeah,
you.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I went home. I had my ankles would hurt me, from flipping and landing on your ankle. Oh, that shit hurts.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, he made me want it. So when I did start doing it, I wanted it more. You know what I mean? And we trained like 4 days a week,
As I say, what days were
3 hours a night.
Were the trainings?
Yeah, like Monday
ev-
through Thursday.
every
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah, 3 hour night trainings, man. They stretched us and made us do things, and then we started doing. I mean, I remember learning how to punch and kick for hours in the corner,
Just
and your arms want to fall off.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Your legs want to fall off, and then you switch, and it's like, oh man, it's like, it was just great though. Just great.
Looking back at it, I'm sure at the time you
old
didn't,
school,
you didn't, it
old
didn't
school,
feel great.
old school good stuff. Well, no.
At the time, you're like,
Oh, I go home. I go home, and the family would look at me like,
It's like, what are you doing?
"Why do you want to do that?"
Yeah.
I got bruises across my head. I got marks
Nah,
all
dude,
over.
somebody
me.
just kicked me.
Rope
Don't
burn
worry
on my
about
ribs.
it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I'm fine.
I'm good.
yeah.
I can't breathe, but I'm good.
Fine. So, 4 nights a week. How were you doing that before?
A while.
Was it like battle royal gigs first?
No. I got thrown into singles.
Right away.
Yeah, right away. I got thrown into singles. I only trained for like 2 months, and then they told me I'm gonna have my first match.
Start
and I
learning
said,
from people.
And I said no. I said I ain't ready. I knew I wasn't ready.
yeah.
You know what I mean? 2 months, and you already want to throw me in the ring. Yeah, but you bump great. I said, yeah, but I can't work. You know what I mean? Just go. You know what I mean? So I went with the flow. I let the guys just pound me, and I would learn like what where to go. I watch old films of mine, and oh my word, I go, wow. And they let me in the ring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I guess back in the, in the 90s, early 90s and 80s, there was like, they let anybody, I guess, go and get their ass kicked, It's like, okay, whatever. But great learning experience, though,
What year was this, your first actual match?
Oh, I think it was 91. Yeah, 91. I think it was Jim and Jake Johnson.
That was who you worked, Jim and Jake Johnson?
Yeah, Jim and Jake Johnson.
No, what
yeah.
were you working as? As BrickHouse?
Yeah, I never had a different name.
So where did the
Never.
BrickHouse name come from? That's my question.
All right, well, we were at, that was the night that I had my first match, was Silvano Souza and, they all came down and said, oh, you're going to wrestle your first match. And I'm like, I'm not ready, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, we need a name. So we had like Reverend Redemption, and which was Blade Runner at the time,
Yeah.
Derek. And they all called me like, all right, we need a name. His last name's Baker, and let's go. And somebody yells out, let's call him Outhouse Baker. And then somebody else says, let's call him Greenhouse Baker. And then somebody yells out, well, let's call him Shithouse. You know what I mean? Let's call him this and that. And they just kept going. And all of a sudden, somebody just goes, let's call him BrickHouse. BrickHouse Baker. And Sousa just like stops and goes, yeah, BrickHouse Baker. I looked at him and I said, no. He goes, why not? I said, because I'm not coming out to she's a brick house. And I knew that then.
Right away,
and I knew that then.
It.
And he goes, no, people won't think that. And I said, all right, the first time they do, I'm going to change it. I don't even like the name. He goes, all right, listen, that'll be your name. We'll change it later.
I guess not, right? Yeah.
So much for that, huh?
Yeah.
So much. Rest is history on that one.
What did your gear look like at the time? Were you rocking the red and the black?
Like a trash bag wrestler.
Yeah.
All right, that's what I look like.
So long black
I look like I
pants.
didn't belong in there. I had red long tights with boxing shoes on. It said Nike on them. I got them from Builder 19 for 19 cents. No word of a lie. 19 cents for a pair of boxing shoes. That's a good deal. That's a good
Not
deal.
too bad.
That's a good deal.
So at this time, like things start rolling right away. Did you start getting more bookings?
Yeah, I mean, it's just they kept using me. I mean, I would go in and some of my matches would be like, go in, do a couple moves, and then get beat up.
Yeah.
Go in, do a couple of things. Like I was the new guy, so when they all had their matches, if I was in a 6-man, I was the first one out. You know what I mean? Just like, but that's fine with me. It's all learning and stuff like that at the time, and I was actually soaking it up like a sponge. I mean, you can take this business and go, yeah, I'm a wrestler, or you can actually, put your damn heart into it. You know what I mean? And I think out of the years that I've done it, that I've given my heart to the art of professional wrestling in New England.
Now, at that time, what are some of the names that you're working with on a regular?
Oh, just Nick Steele a lot. But he was doing the Billy Warhawk gimmick at the time.
Yeah.
And actually, Nick's the first one to teach me how to do the tilt-a-whirl backbreaker.
Yeah.
Oh my word! Hey, what a ride! What a ride! That's a great ride. You know? What I mean?
Yeah. It took it many times.
Not so good on the back sometimes, but what a great ride!
So you work with Nick Steele a lot at the time.
Yeah, and stuff like that. And as I got better, and stuff like that. Now I wrestled like Steve Ramsey and stuff like that. I did a 6-man with Jim Rule. Cousin Seth McCoy, and Scott Taylor against me, Black Dragon, El Pancho Ayala. I had Sir Lawrence, as a manager when I was with Bulldozer. My first belts I ever held were actually the New England tag straps, with Bulldozer, and he was a Kowalski kid. So that was the first tag straps I ever held with anybody.
Now those shows that they're running, where are these shows going on? It's not former PAL?
No, this is right on 85 Cogsall Street in
that's
New
just where
Bedford.
all the
Right
shows
where
are?
McDonald's is built now.
Yeah,
They got big plazas and stuff like that. Yeah.
So just all the shows are out of that one building?
Yeah, we ran every 2 weeks out of that building, and we filled that building, But tickets were cheap. You got to remember, you're buying a ticket for $3,
right?
Compared to now it's 10 and up, at any given show. You know what I mean? So
what are you guys drawing around? What do you estimate? A couple hundred in there?
Oh yeah. We were drawing a good 150 at least.
Every
show.
Weeks.
Yeah, we were packing the house. It was good. And that's a good fan base. I mean, that's what New England wrestling was, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. And then it was Yankee, Top Rope, South Coast Championship Wrestling, And look, 30-something years later, and that company still exists.
Yeah.
I mean, I put a good at least 17, 18 years just in them companies out here. But like everybody says, well, how come you never went to the WWE or anything like? Well, for one, I never really pushed myself to even go that far.
See, I as a kid, as a fan of Top Rope and Yankee, when I always heard that like BrickHouse turned down the WWE thing.
I didn't turn down WWE. What happened was we all get sent. Like Joe would send 5 guys to go up and wrestle. We were doing Superstars.
Yeah.
I moved to Michigan. I did a family move. 2 weeks before we were supposed to all go up there, I moved to Michigan before I was supposed to go. So I never did go. I missed it. You know what I mean? I missed it. All that walk down the aisle and stuff like that. And everybody's like, oh, I did. But I mean, don't get me wrong. I went to Michigan. I watched Saturdays, and I see my friends from up here. Like Sky King and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're on. Scoring got his boot set on fire from. Yeah. So I mean, I knew that one of them would have been me. You know what I mean?
Right.
So to not go, so what? You can't miss what you don't have.
Yeah.
I did a family thing. I thought family first before I thought pro wrestling, and I guess that's what I've always thought.
As I say, that's kind of just how you've always.
Yeah, I just always thought family first, man. Life is first. Pro wrestling is a game that we all like to play and be warriors. You know what I mean? You're a villain. I'm a face. Whatever you want to call it now. This kayfabe, whatever. But that's how wrestling is. It's But to me, I made a family move to try and better my family than I did trying to make indie shows at the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Which made more sense. So it's not something everybody says, well, do you miss not going? No, because I never had it.
Right.
It's not like I got there and they didn't use me.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So no, I didn't miss it. At least I knew that I was one of the guys Joe was sending. You know what I mean? That's just right there. I knew I was.
Yeah, you knew.
I would have had my one timer, maybe
Couple shots,
get one punch
yeah.
in and get squashed by these gorillas. You know what I mean?
Well, you were talking about family first, and that's just kind of how you do the whole House of Bricks thing.
Listen, I'm a family guy. You know what I mean?
And
I liked it that Joe ran over 100 shows a year.
Yeah.
And I was on them. Sheesh. 95% of them.
Yeah,
I was
right,
on
yeah,
them, you know
yeah.
what I mean? And it's not like, you wrestled here, you wrestled there, and you go, well, what kind of crowds? And everybody says, oh, you didn't wrestle in front of 20,000. Well, listen, you don't need 20,000. But what's wrong with 10,000 and 5,000 and 6,000
Right,
and
yeah.
1,500, 1,000,
Right.
700? Yeah, we're going to gyms, and we're selling out these gyms with a lot of people. You sell out a gym, they're just as loud as 20,000, even if you're, you only got 2,000.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just how your card is and how your wrestling company is. As you're over.
Yeah.
If you're over and you're popular, you're over. It doesn't matter who you are.
You were talking about putting family first, and I know you guys are doing the one night only show, April 18th.
Yeah, that's like the one night only show is.
I know you wanted to talk about that.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's for the kid that passed away the night I retired and stuff like that, and the family's in debt big time with his funeral costs and stuff. And the guy's a good friend of mine, and his son's a real good friend of mine. I mean, I miss him. You know what I mean? So, I think I could do a good deed. I know I run wrestling shows for the House of Bricks. I've been doing it. This is my 6th year. I do all my shows are pretty much to raise money to help community kids or whatever. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
It's a good deed. So yeah, I mean, I'm just doing it to help out a friend and a good friend that passed away. So it's a good deed. That's the way I look at it. And I'm not, and I'm gonna give them money to the family to pay their bills, man. I'm not gonna raise $8 million in one night.
Right, but at this point in their life, man, I'm sure every bit helps. And
anything helps. I mean,
yeah.
Anywhere where everybody's look at the times right now. Everything's tough in this world.
Yeah.
And like I said, I mean, shouldn't friends help friends out?
Absolutely.
I mean, even in the wrestling business, figure it out. We're all brothers and sisters, and we're supposed to help each other out. You watch my back, I watch yours. But it don't work like that, does it?
Not all the time.
No. But you can count the majority that do, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's all good.
It's the ones that you keep friendly.
But that's life. That's good and
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
So it don't matter where you are.
It's true. That's just everywhere. And there's some good matches scheduled. It's April 18th. It's
yep.
at the Fairhaven VFW. We got the Baker boys, Devin and David. They're taking on the Storm Brothers, right?
Yes.
Kyle
yes,
and Matt Storm?
Yeah, Kyle and Matt Storm. Yes.
And I know Mike Foster is taking on Candido.
Yep. That's for the HOB Heavyweight Championship.
Ash is in action. He's taking on somebody with the Goddess of Beauty, Romana Romano.
Oh boy.
Now, some people may remember Romana as Buddy.
Yeah. I don't know what happened to
And,
Buddy.
Buddy.
I don't know what happened.
Buddy's been getting a little wild lately. And,
but hey, that's all right. As long as he can still wrestle,
That's
You know,
A-okay with you?
That's fine with me. That's fine with me. We all can't be the same, you know.
Right.
Okay, but
listen, you're talking to a couple strange guys
You get-
yourselves right
yeah,
here.
yeah.
He needs to tuck the pink pantyhose in. Tuck it in.
Buddy, tuck it. I mean,
Is that
Ramona.
why? Is that act that actually bothered?
I seen him staring at
Maybe
that
that's
show,
why.
yeah.
Listen, you're gonna go cross-eyed to staring like that, though.
It's the bright pink.
But the whole thing, you ever think that maybe that's why he has it
It's
out?
getting in your head, dog.
Ah,
It's true. Think about it.
think about it.
JT Dunn and TJ Richter, which I don't know if they've ever had a singles match before.
I don't know. I didn't check the history on that, but you know, I know them both, and JT right now is on a hot streak.
Certainly.
You know, so you know, and I know TJ Richter is very unpredictable.
Oh wow, man.
So yeah, a little while, but hey, good workers. I just like I said, I got a great card of great talented wrestlers for a great thing.
I'm down to go over the whole card if you're interested in just
You can
thoughts
go
on
over
each
the
match.
card. That
Yeah?
don't matter.
Oh,
to
I'm
me.
down.
It don't matter.
We got
to me.
the ladies' man, Gregory Edwards, our podcast pal. He runs the Biff and Ted podcast. We haven't really got the chance to plug them.
I hadn't listened to it yet, but I heard it was pretty good.
Oh, I've listened to a few. The Spike one, the Ash one's good.
I
No,
listened to the
they're good.
intro of one. I like the music that they had.
Yeah, it's definitely good. Mac doesn't not really a podcast guy. That's why.
I try.
Yeah, he tries. And he's taking on the Devil's Reject, Brandon Webb. And
Yes.
that'll be a good match. Those two guys. Again, both students of yours. I'm gonna say you certainly had a hand in the development of both of those fellas.
Yes.
Along with many others, which I'm sure we'll get into.
All right.
Johnny Angel and Disco Tony Roma. I haven't seen Tony Roma in a while.
No, man. I ran into him a while ago, and he actually wanted to wrestle me, and I just we never got around to even doing
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So, and with me having my own shows, I was like, well, you like to work, and and then the rest is history. Yeah, it goes from there.
And in the match, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of people that want to see. Simply the Best Ever Briggs, Moonshine, JB Tickle, and Cold Blooded Jason Frost in a three-way. How did this match come about?
Isn't
BrickHouse?
that great? It sounds like a whole gimmick match. Huh?
It does.
It
It's-
does.
Everybody's got a little catchphrase.
Catchphrase.
Simply the Best Ever
Right.
Briggs, Moonshine, JB Tickle, and Cold Blooded J Frost.
Isn't that great?
I'm
Isn't
excited
that
about
great?
it.
Yes.
That's April 18th, folks. Come support the charity, support the show. It's going to a good cause. You know what I mean? You're gonna help some people, and you're gonna get to watch some wrestling. So why the hell not?
You're gonna watch some great wrestling. Some really good wrestling.
So BrickHouse, we're gonna go. We jumped forward in time a little bit. We're gonna jump back.
All right.
When does the now it's not Yankee Pro yet, right? It's still New England Wrestling.
No, on what part?
Is it? Did it? Now,
I
how
don't
did
know.
that
I don't
work?
know where you want to go from.
I'm saying right when you guys you're still doing shows at the Coggeshall Street.
Oh yeah, we ran there for a while.
For a
We ran
while.
there For a while.
Mac,
I wanted to go back to the hospital. Your mother's giving birth right now. You're just about. No, I think we'll stick where we're jumping back in time. But I think that was a good
Yeah,
time.
if you go that far, I only remember getting dropped twice.
yeah, he's not directly on his head.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
So you guys are running Coggeshall Street. How long did you guys run shows there? Every 2 weeks?
Well, we ran for years.
Really? And
For a
just
few-
out of that building?
For a few, yeah, just out of that building, and then I guess later on we started hooking up with the PAL hall,
Right.
and then rest is history on that, man. That building's TRP, man. That's,
Oh, it
that's
certainly
Yankee. It
is.
is, yeah. That's all about us, and it's good though, because that history is all us. That whole building is built on, New England wrestling, Yankee wrestling, South Coast Championship wrestling, TRP. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the history of it, to keep the same building all these years without anything disturbing it or
Right. Yeah.
anything happening, you know what I mean? That's a milestone itself, guy.
It's crazy.
Kidding me? Got a lot of companies that run in buildings. They don't
Yeah,
they don't
for 2
last in that
months,
building.
yeah.
Bingo. They don't last too long in that building. So yeah. Yeah.
When did you start feeling comfortable in the ring?
It took a while. I mean, even to the day that I retired, I get like you feel like weird inside, like you get that butterfly thing going.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've always gotten that when
Yeah.
I've gone out a curtain, no matter what it was, no matter how many people, whatever. For some reason, when the music hit, it's like as soon as I walk through the curtain, it's like snap. Oh my word, I'm somebody else. You know what I mean? And it's just. But once I'm through the curtain, I'm golden. It's just before I go out that curtain, I get. And I always said, if you don't get that and feel good that you're gonna go out there, then what feeling do you have?
Yeah.
What do you
What's the
wrestle
point,
for?
right?
What's the point, right? You gotta like your job. You know what I mean? Not
Right.
everybody likes their job, but you gotta like your job. The thing about pro wrestling is no matter who hires you as a wrestler or if you want to take a booking, the thing is you don't have to. So when like guys show up and complain, listen, you don't have to be here. No one told you to lace your boots up. No one told you to show up. You agreed to show up. You go with the flow. You think every company runs the same? Hell no.
Certainly
Hell
not.
no. Hell no. That shit's all screwed up.
Yeah.
Just don't worry about it. Just like I always say, do what the card says.
Yeah.
That's it, man. It's real easy. Just do what the card says.
So, you guys, the PAL Hall certainly, like I've been to that building when it wasn't a wrestling show, it was like a music show.
Yes.
And you could just feel the wrestling in the room. Like I don't even know how to describe it. Like there's, I don't know, your guys' blood and sweat and just everything. It's just
it's
in
in that building.
that wood. It's
embedded.
just embedded in that
It's
building
embedded.
for real.
That's for sure.
I was just gonna say it's embedded into the walls, and then you snag that joke on right underneath me. But for real, how excited must have you been when you knew that you'd be wrestling in a new town in a new building? It must have been pretty exciting. Yeah.
Oh, geez, man. Just to even like start getting bookings and being part of the guys that went on the road. You know what I mean? After a while, and then you're part of that group, and oh my word! And this, like I said, you go from 150 people, 100 people, 200 people on a regular, and then you go and there's 800. Oh my word!
Yeah.
All right. Now, as a wrestler back in the day, doing indie wrestling, an 800 people crowd or 1,100 or whatever, that's like WrestleMania.
Oh yeah,
You kidding me? You're having a time of your life now. Now you want to perform more. You want to do more. You're not hitting. Look at today's crowds. Really?
Yeah,
Everybody's trying to pull teeth
Yeah.
to draw crowds, and you gotta like bend over backwards. You gotta have the right guys. You gotta have what kind of company you are. It's just, oh my word, it's horrible. Everybody has a company.
Yep.
Everybody, name it. You put three
Three
letters
letters together and it's a
you're
promotion
and you
somewhere.
got a promotion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just but you just gotta love it as it is. Don't hate the players, just hate the game. And some players don't play the game right. So, but that's life, though. That's life.
So when you started doing those away road shows, who were you rolling with? Who were you going to shows with?
Well, sometimes we used to pack a van, be like 9 of us.
Just
Sandy Star,
how ridiculous
Joey
was that
Genio.
van? How ridiculous was that van?
Oh, fun. Just fun.
Yeah.
You got everybody going crazy anyway. So, but, as the years, and stuff like that, me and Ashworth hooked up. Me and Scott Ashworth.
Yeah.
Well, actually, when I moved to Michigan, Ashworth wasn't even wrestling. I already wrestled a few years before him.
Yep.
But he was there when I got back. And then, everybody knew, the old guys knew who I was,
Yep.
Then I introduced to Ash and stuff like that. And one day, Joey, me and Ash wrestled each other for the heavyweight strap a few times. And then we got put together as a tag. And, shoot, man, we hit the road all the time, man. We were always together after that. I mean, for years.
And that's how you guys became partners.
That's we don't call each other by name as partner.
No, I remember you talking to me. I'm not sure if it was with you and Ash, but you worked a lot with the sheep herders.
Yeah. I mean, the bushwhackers.
I'm sure was that way later or
no, actually, me and Ash everybody knows that we're two different style wrestlers.
Yeah.
Ash is flamboyant as hell.
Oh yes.
Me, I'm more rugged and want to pound and ground. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want to rip your face off. I want you to, I want you to super kick me. You know what I mean? But yeah, we got thrown together against the Bushwhackers, and we were wrestling them. So we ended up wrestling, and after the match, the Whackers, it was like our first time. The Bushwhackers came in. I forgot which one it was, but he started yelling at us. And he's like, "Oh, we gave you the thing. Get out." We didn't get out
Yeah.
fast enough or whatever, and he started yelling at us. I'm like, and the other one's like, mate. They're just boys.
Yeah.
They're just boys. Come on. You know what I mean? So yeah, I should come in, and then they were cool with us. And then after that, we wrestled them. Oh, Jesus Christ! I mean, 11 times, if more.
Jeez.
So
Was it just every road show? It was you
yeah,
guys
we
and
just
them,
kept
you guys and them?
yeah. We just kept going. I mean, Joe would give a couple other guys the spot,
Yeah.
but they actually I don't know if they kept asking for us.
Just
You know
out,
what I
out of
mean?
everybody, they'd certainly prefer to work
Sometimes
with
you
you
get
guys.
asked for by
Yeah,
people
yeah.
who say, "Hey, I want to work him," and that happens in the indies too, not just by,
Oh, yeah,
by
yeah.
bigger whatever ranking guys you want to call them, whatever. Excuse me, but yeah, I mean, wrestling's wrestling.
Yeah.
Vince's TV is no different than what guys are learning in any company. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody's like, "You stole his move. You got his move." Well, people understand this. We got to do a move,
Right.
and every move's a finisher. So pick one. You're gonna copy somewhere down the line in life.
Right.
I mean, this ain't the 50s where this was your move, this was my move.
Yeah, and there were only 14 guys wrestling, so everybody could have a move.
Exactly. I mean, even in the 90s when we wrestled, it was like you didn't go in and go 90 miles an hour and fly all over the place. You
Right.
actually methodically thought about what you were doing and just pound and ground and just take it, and take it. People register what you do. People wonder why, guys get hurt and stuff like that. I know it's good to be crazy because I'm a nutcase myself in this
Right.
business. I throw my body through everything, But, do you want to do that on a constant basis? No. See, a lot of my matches when I did steel cages and stuff like that, they were built up to get there.
Yeah. It was
I didn't do one every day.
right.
I don't think I'd have a 23-year career, more like 3. You know what I mean? So,
You do that crazy shit all the time.
yeah.
Is that what you think the biggest difference is now between indie shows then and indie shows now is no build up to anything, or matches are just too fast?
It's just, okay. I mean, everybody knows it, but you got people that buy rings and don't know what they're doing, and they're YouTubing this stuff.
Yeah.
I don't care if you buy a ring. I don't care if you do, but if you know your stuff is not good and you think you're good and you're putting it out there, don't put it out there. Get good. Then show your stuff. What
Yeah,
you
yeah.
learn. You might be able to go somewhere. Somebody might see you. I mean, Mick Foley was jumping off his garages and stuff. He went somewhere. You know what I mean? But don't do it if you don't.
Right.
You know what
Right.
I mean? You don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all. I had to get trained. I got trained.
Right.
You know what I mean? There are a lot of guys that got trained. Proper training is everything in this business. It makes you a better worker if you train hard and you listen. But what are you gonna do? It's life. God, some guys don't listen.
And
Well,
speaking of
whatever.
training, I feel like you've had your hand in about 90% of New England wrestling training. You trained at Yankee, you trained at ACW, you trained at LPW.
Yeah,
like-
I mean,
You trained. I think everyone I know has been at least one BrickHouse Baker training.
yeah. I mean, I liked it. I loved it. I mean,
How did the training first come about? When were you?
I don't know. I just Joe Eugenio was looking for a trainer, and the way me and Ashworth were wrestling back in the day, and we were like, we were pretty good. So he asked like me and Ash, and we had like Mike Edwards and Manny.
Yep.
Those are the guys that helped me through. Manny, Mike, Izzy Straight, Black Dragon, El Pancho Ayala. These guys actually, because I was brought in as a heel,
Yeah.
never a face. I never got to do face. I only started because I'm so damn old
Yeah,
that
yeah,
people
that
started
you're just-
cheering for me. So
He's been around forever. I
I'm,
can't boo him.
I'm better off shitting myself. I'm still over. So I mean, it's just whatever, So, well, yeah. I mean, good stuff. Good stuff.
So, what were some of your favorite memories with the sheep herders then?
Just like
You said, you feel like they were asking for you, or they were.
Well, I don't know if they were actually
Specifically,
asking for us, but
they
I
were
mean,
working with you guys.
there was a
lot.
lot of guys in the locker room. Why? I don't know why me and Ash kept getting the card.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. We were all brothers and sisters back then, and we didn't. You know what I mean? Like there was guys that could have wrestled them too, instead of just me and Ash or whatever. But
Yeah.
so I don't know how that actually went. So, but yeah, I mean, but if you watch me and Ash tag, I mean, we learned so much just from fighting them guys.
Yeah.
That you.
Just on a regular, right?
It's a piece of piss, mate. It's a piece of piss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big quote.
Yeah, that's what we get told.
Yeah.
Good stuff, though. Yeah, but you learn a lot. And we took it in and we learned, actually, instead of, being cocky kids or something like that. Everything we've ever done, we've always taken in and learned.
Right.
It's okay to be cocky, but be nice about it. Be nice
Right,
to the
yeah,
people
yeah.
you're wrestling or the people you work for. Or, you know what I mean? Just remember this.
Nothing wrong with being proud of
Listen,
yourself.
Well, the whole thing I tell everybody, like somebody will say, man, I'm wrestling him. He sucks. And you know something? Wait a minute now. He sucks. But what makes you so great?
Yeah.
If you actually, as a pro wrestler, know this kid's been around or he can't work, you should be able to go in there and carry him.
Right.
You know what I mean? You gotta just work with it. Nobody ever said, "What are you gonna call a triple Lindy from the top turnbuckle
Yeah.
off the guardrail onto this kid's?" No, you're not gonna call that. You're gonna be like, "Okay, we're gonna work." So instead of being encouraging, work the kid. Know you're better than him, which you already know. If you are, teach him.
Right.
Teach him something while you're working him.
Yeah.
Teach him something that kid's gonna go, "Thank you." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you. You know what I mean? That blew my mind. Why they wear? I mean, like I said, we can always rib a guy. We can rib the hell out of you.
Right.
Especially the older guys. We can. It's funny stuff. But like I said, there's times when we just sit there and if we see a kid and we're like, "Hey man, he's got potential. He looks. We'll talk to you,
Yeah.
dude. If you sound like a dud firecracker going off,
You
that's
guys know
when we
right
rib.
away.
We're done. We're
Yeah,
ribbing
yeah,
you. You're
yeah.
done. You're done. You're done. But you're learning.
Right.
You're learning. If you don't learn the ribs, you know what I mean. You're not going to take the jokes. And
Probably shouldn't be around,
boy,
yeah.
you in the wrong business.
Yeah. That just reminds me. It was outside of a showcase show. We pulled up, and Mack left his bag outside. And
Oh,
you
no.
and David hid the bag.
Yeah, I put the bag in my truck.
in your trunk. Yeah. For hours, Mack was walking around looking for his bag.
He was. He come out. You see my bag? No. We just
I
got
think
here.
that was my second time I asked you, so I
Yeah,
asked
yeah, yeah.
every single person in
He
there.
did.
And I'm just gonna ask everybody again.
Yeah.
Just looking through other people's bags to see if they were yours. Like, that's a red bag. Is that my red bag?
Yeah, that was funny. That was funny.
By the end of it, I was just really happy that you had my bag.
Yeah, you're lucky I had your bag, buddy, because like I said, you left it outside right there. And I'm like, wow, I could have been a fan, pulled up. I'd be like, wow, look at all this. I got all this gear, man. This is awesome.
It's a mask and shoulder pads in here.
That's the exact same thing I was thinking. I'm like, damn, someone's gonna be wearing my gear.
In the crowd just wearing your
There
stuff.
goes the gimmick infractions.
Oh, man.
No, that was good. But,
So-
man, I must be a public guy. Phone in the background.
That's all good, dude.
Yeah, they can go off. I don't care.
So you're running the trainings. You said Joe was looking for somebody, and
Yeah, and it's
you
just
and Ash
like,
kind of
you
step
know,
up.
Ash and stuff like that. And he asked a couple guys, and I just happened to step in and start training. And, it was cool because, I had big classes. I had like 15 kids, sometimes 20, at a whack, in one
Yeah.
night. And they were training, a couple of times. Like I would have a training, Ash would have a training.
Right.
There was a couple of trainers. And then, I took over most of it, as it went on. I was just the main trainer, and you know what? Only a couple of times did I got money for training,
Right.
but 90% of my training I did for free,
Just because you were trying to help out.
just because everybody doesn't realize that. Even when I was training and I'm showing and I'm giving thoughts in my head, and I'm learning too.
Right.
I'm not just pulling strings to say, hey, I'm better than you, because for one, in my trainings, and everybody knows it, I'd bump with you. If you didn't know how to do it, I would show you how to do it. And I wasn't afraid to show you and do it, because I wouldn't do, if I didn't do it, then you don't have to do it.
Right.
That's wrong to show somebody something you wouldn't do. You know what I mean? When you learn the basics, what they call it, you know what I mean? But when you want to start doing flips and stuff, one, you need pads, you need cushions, you gotta get your flip down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's dangerous, not only for the person, blow your own knee out.
Right. Yeah.
Seen it. You know what I mean?
Just
you
doing
guys
the
have
jump.
too. You guys have too. And it's just not a good thing. All the wrestling I've done and all the crap that I put my body through, I've never broke a bone.
That's great.
Never broke. Sprang a few things, but never broke a bone. Knock on wood. Knock on wood.
23 years.
23 years. Yeah.
No broken bones. That's pretty good.
Yeah, not bad.
I'd say
Not
so.
bad.
Yeah.
A lot of other injuries, but not that.
No bones,
No
though.
major one. Nah, no broken bones.
No broken bones.
Thank God.
So you guys are running trainings. Who are some of the names that you? I don't like. It sounds probably weird with you naming people out, but I know you trained a lot of dudes. Pretty much everyone I know, like I said earlier, you've had a hand in. What are some of the names, like the people that? Obviously, Taylor Hendricks, right? She credited you to having some to helping her start off, right?
Yeah, I mean, training is like, it's a place where you stop.
Right.
Okay. You can get training in varies of ways. Like I said, you can train to wrestle, and then you wrestle someone. But you have to remember, you're not going to wrestle that same person every time you get in the ring.
Right.
So everybody wrestles, but your style is way different than mine.
Right.
You vice versa. So training is pretty much, I would say, like, yeah, you go to training, you're learning your skills, you're learning the ropes, you're learning your craft. But when you actually got to go wrestle in a match, it is totally different.
Yeah.
Because now you have to take what you learned and go, man, I gotta put this together and say, all right, I want to out wrestle this. I want to look great. I want to be good at this. You know what I mean? So that's where the training comes in. But like, Taylor trained with me, and then she moved on. And she went and furthered on a little bit. She hooked up with Bob Evans, and Bob Evans trained her. You know what I mean? Me and Bob Evans have pretty much had a hand in a lot of guys' futures. You know what I mean? So it's a good thing. I mean, we're me and Bob. We get it. We know the business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Bob's just like me. He's a good trainer. He knows. It's the in and outs. It's the little things that work in this business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you want to go do 50,000 moves, we wouldn't. We would go in and I could do less. And just about get either just as much pop, if not more.
Right. Yeah.
Because when you do something, you want to mean it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can do 150 flips, but which one did you mean?
Right. Which ones do the fans
right? To
connect
me,
with?
Everybody says, "What's the thing that you remember about a match?" Well, I'll tell you right now, it's the finisher.
Right.
It's the finisher. You know what I mean? You don't remember anything in between. You remember that they wrestled, because by the time you watch 8 matches of wrestling, I mean, there's a few spots that everybody's done already, so that's a blank in the mind. But you're waiting for the person's finisher because you're rooting for them, and their finish. So when they hit it, you know what I mean? Unless they don't hit it good enough and the guy kicks out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But other than that, you wait for that. And that's just about what you remember.
Now, at that time, like when you guys were, you said hitting the road with Yankee and all that, that was during wrestling's kind of boom period, right?
Oh, it was like I said, yeah. I mean, we're going to gymnasiums and 1,100 people, and I mean, these are middle schools and stuff, and high schools.
Filling up, yeah.
It just But don't get me wrong. Every company, I don't who you are. You have a low. You can get into a low. You can go pull into a town and, you think you're going to like, all right, it's going to be a good night. And the only cars in the parking lot are the workers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you got 5 people showed up and it's like, oh my God. But, they paid, you play.
Yeah.
And that's where you should get into your training mode and just stick to your basics. You're not going to go do 6 flips for 5 people. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
So, that's even if you're a flyer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Older school guys were more like ground and pound. You know what I mean? We don't fly. I'll catch you.
Yeah, you'll catch.
Yeah, I'll catch you.
Now, you're running those shows. You're hitting all these like you said, there's lulls. What was the first like real disappointing show that you remember like during that time? Like how bad of a turnout would it be?
Well, all right. Disappointing to me.
Yeah.
Boys and Girls Club. I think it was Fall River. Place was packed. We had, oh my word, I don't know. We had like 1,500 people in that building.
Yeah.
It was packed, and that's when I came off my elbow wrong, and I did a whoopee cushion like Doink the Clown, and somehow I bruised my ankle so bad that it looked like bruised meat from one side all the way. They said I bruised it all the way through.
Yeah.
It swelled right up. I took my boot. I couldn't stand up to finish what I was supposed to do would punish a Don Vega, and I actually had to crawl out of the ring. I was mad.
Yeah, at the time.
Things like that. I got more disappointed when I screwed up.
Right.
Oh man, I pet peeved myself
so hard on yourself.
I would not. Yeah, I'm hard on myself. Even to this day, I'm hard. If I mess up and I know that, I botched something, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
But it's to me, it's not botches. It's wrestling.
Yeah.
Wrestling. Right? There is slips and slides. You know what I mean? There's no rewind.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as a wrestler, you move forward. No matter what, you move forward. And we're almost like Marines and armed forces. We fight until we hear the bell. You know what I mean? Really, seriously. I broke my finger. I don't even think about that. Did you hear the bell?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't. I mean, we all
go like this.
like I said, my arm could be busted and I want to go.
Yeah.
Because I didn't hear that bell. And now I'm disappointed because I hurt my arm, and I know I'm not. This is screwed up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's more disappointing than anything. I think it's more on people's selves. How you expectate yourself.
Right. Yeah.
So, I mean, I like I said, you're training guys, and you're going through things, and why would you want to screw up?
Right. Yeah.
You're training these guys, and yeah, but that just means I'm human.
Yeah.
That's all that means. Just you're human.
So at this time, you're working with Ash a lot as a tag team, right?
Yeah, we wrestled a lot with Ash, and stuff like that. So
when does your love-hate relationship start with Jose? When do you start working with him a lot?
I know Jose came into the business, and we pretty much got put together. Joe knew how I was, and El Diablo came in, and pretty much to a steel cage. I mean,
right away.
Yeah. I mean, and we just ever since then it was.
Is that the one that's online?
It might be.
I think I've seen that one.
It's just like we never got. Me and Jose just started whacking each other around really hard from day one.
I was gonna ask you what your first impression of him was, but I'm guessing that was a pretty good first impression. You guys are going straight at it.
It's just. There's certain people you can work with, and
yeah.
I mean, and I've told everybody this, and they asked me, who, like out of your career, was your toughest opponent, and that freaking Mexican is, you know what I mean? I mean, he brought out the best in me, and and I'm hoping that I did the same for him throughout his career when me and him collided. But I think if you watch our matches, I mean, there's no holds bars with me and him. We just loved to hit each other hard.
I believe he said the same thing on his Mackcast.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I haven't even heard it yet, so I'll be sure I listen to it.
So, you're running trainings. When do you become like the household name BrickHouse in the Fall River area? Because like you were always around when I was a kid.
It's just like everyone else. I mean, yeah, all right. I started low. I did my squash me matches.
Yeah.
I paid my dues, but I also got in my head and in my heart and said, all right, I either got to get good at this,
Yeah.
or I'm done with this, because if I'm not going to be good at it, why? I don't even want to be out here, because that's when it's not fun. That's when you think like, why am I doing this? You know what I mean? You got to get better to get pushed. You got to get better to be on top. You got to get better. But you got to stay there. You got to, like, when you go and fight, you got to, like, A game.
Yeah.
You don't know it, but when you get to that point, they call it your prime. Like you're hitting everything like an ace.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're not the one that's going to notice. It's going to be the fans.
Right.
It's going to be the people you work with. And it's definitely going to be the promoter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those are the people or the guy that trains you. You know what I mean? Those are the people that are going to say, wow, okay. Wow, he's getting better, huh? Yeah, you know what I mean? Don't fill your head, because you can't wrestle without the other guy on the other side.
Right.
Okay? You can fight the invisible man. You know what I mean? Go ahead. But
not too many people are going to want to pay to watch that.
Yeah, it's
It's hard to sell.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
So, just Mac, what was some of your first memories of BrickHouse?
Well, overall, I just remember just saying, when I got into the wrestling business, like that's the guy I want to be like. Like if I can be as popular as him when he retires, I would consider my career being a success. That's my overall BrickHouse memory.
Yeah.
I have an awful memory of childhood stuff. It's all glimpses of you dropping your sweet. Is it the ton of brick elbow drop?
The flying brick.
The flying brick, yeah. Just my whole childhood is like a flashback video of you just doing different moves. Yeah, to Flash. I had the foam hand.
Flash.
I had the Flash foam hand.
Wow. There's a good memory. Okay, you want to know how? Flash. All right. I wrestled
Yes,
I wrestled in
Flash story.
them 19-cent boots I had. I told you about. I was wearing them, and I asked like one time to borrow boots. I actually borrowed Big Daddy Kahuna's boots, and I had to slide my gear over the top of them because they had Harley Davidson on them.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool though. But that's a brother letting a brother borrow his boots.
Yeah.
Flash, he went out and bought all this new gear, and he comes up to me one day and he goes, "Hey, what size boot are you?" And I go, 14. He goes, "Wow." He goes, "That's the same size I take." He goes, "I have these boots I don't want. You want them?" I said, "What color are they?" He said, "They're red." I said, "Oh, cool." I said, "I'm going to get red boots." You know what I mean? And, I'm not thinking boots. I'm thinking this guy's going to give me boots, a little worn out, No, man, he came and he gave me patent leather boots. Patent leather. Red. And they were like brand new.
Yeah.
He goes, "I got all the ones with Velcro. Yeah, you can have these." I said, "What do you want for them?" He said, "Nothing." I owned them boots for 15 years, guys. 15 years I wore them suckers. You know what I mean? So you talk about some miles. There's some good miles on them boots.
I'm sure you
know
still
what I mean?
own them, right?
Hey, I still got them. And I thank Flash for, setting me up with my first pair of real boots. That was cool stuff.
That's a good Flash story, Mac. I'm glad we randomly got into that.
I got my boots from Scott Levesque, and I thank him, but I had to purchase them. There were no.
There's no freebies from Scott Levesque. He's all
No, Scott. No.
So speaking of Scott Levesque, and we'll talk a little bit about how we could flash forward or flash back and all that. But you eventually left Yankee. Was it Top Rope by that time?
Yeah, I was just Top Rope. I didn't leave on bad terms.
Right.
It's just sometimes like I said, when to like kind of just, all right, it's time to walk away. There's new stuff coming.
Yeah.
I mean, you can be naive in any business, and just I was there forever. I was like, I mean, Steve Riccardi, they kept me a top man guy. They never, you know what I mean? I never complained about like, no, I won't work that kid or that. I've never said that. I've done everything I've ever, been told. You know what I mean? So like I said, I had my last match, and I didn't, I'm not like, oh, up yours, and like, no, I'm good. Just, I know that, if I walk away, everything's going to be cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I went and, helped out ACW,
So you joined ACW.
stuff like that,
And how did that come about? Dave Oliveira reach out to you? Was it
No.
other guys
we were doing
because he had
shows.
already-
We were doing shows in Fall River.
Yeah.
And then I heard that, a couple guys from, Top Rope went, across the water and, did some shows and stuff like that. So, I thought nothing of it. So I actually, went and checked. Like I said, I went and checked one out. I actually paid $7. I went in and I watched the show. And, of course, I knew everybody just about on the card. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's but I didn't know. And at the time, it's like, keeping me on top at Top Rope, but yet going across the water to work in front of 10 people when I'm working for Top Rope in front of hundreds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So kind of like, okay. And it just went down like that, and I missed a couple bookings and for the PAL hall, which I was always booked for the PAL hall.
Right,
so,
yeah.
And like I said, it just nothing bad went, nothing bad went about it. Just I just moved on, and they moved on, but look, we moved on. Everything's cool. I did some shows for them. I did Whaling City with my partner.
Yeah.
Fighting the stroke. That was fun. That's fun. That's history over there too. That Whaling City. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
the festival shows.
yeah, that's all. How about this? That's our outdoor PAL. You know what I mean? That's how that was. And it was great because you got to showcase 4 or 5 matches on the weekend, and but it never ended. You know what I mean? Look where I retired.
Yep.
I mean,
Oh, we just went back to that PAL.
I had a great 2013, brother.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I wrestled a lot.
Yeah, you did.
NECW, Sheldon Goldberg and them, I thank them very much. You know what I mean? So it's stuff like that. I mean, NWW, it's just good stuff. Top Rope, I wrestled over the summer and stuff like that. They gave me some good shows.
Yep.
So yeah, it was good. I wrestled for Showcase Pro Wrestling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was
A lot
just
of
going to mention
companies.
Showcase Pro
Yeah,
Wrestling.
I got a lot of companies.
I lived the dream and actually faced off against you.
Yeah, yes, yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. Didn't mean to take your titles. Yeah, that was my son David's idea.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, I mean, you know me. I never bend the rules.
Yeah.
I'm a straight guy. Straight shoot. I don't.
That was cool. Hearing you came into, we'll talk about the showcase thing a little bit, if you don't mind, because there was you came into showcase and we heard that you guys wanted to work with me and Mack.
Oh yeah, that was Chris Blackheart called me up and he talked to me and stuff like that, and he says, hey, and I said, what's up, and we got talking, and he asked me what I wanted to do, and I said, well, you have the Mack attacks, and I said, let's I'd like to come in and tag my son David. I said I'd like to work them for I was going to come in for like a 6-month run.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just wanted to wrestle you guys, so it would have been like a flip flop.
Yeah.
He then rise and shine.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? All right, so it just
it came in. You guys,
it just
we
came
worked
in
something
and it just,
for like a month.
It just
two.
switched so fast. It just
Yeah.
it died, and it shouldn't have, because it was like we beat you guys for your titles, and all of a sudden it's like you guys ain't even in showcase or something, or we're missing you.
We
because,
were out of the title
right?
picture.
I didn't. For what? You have a clause.
Yeah.
It would have been a great angle if it just would have kept going.
And
you know what I mean?
it was right away. We got pulled out, and you guys started working with
whoever they
I
put
don't even
against
remember
us.
who
It
it
was
was.
just
Yeah,
whoever
yeah.
they put against us, and
Cargill and
it was just they just randomly just put anybody against them in general, and they moved us out of the picture, and it was
Because
just like,
even like I mean, even Mark Damon and Nick, Nick, they're a tag. You have the Wrestlers, they're a tag.
Yeah.
You had me and David. They had you guys as a tag. You know what I mean? So we had a tag division.
right. There were some tag teams
We needed to, I just think it needed to be that way. I didn't want to wrestle single wrestlers that, you know what I mean?
That they
Nothing
slapped
against
in
any
that-
wrestler.
right,
'cause
right,
they
yeah,
know where I'm coming from. It's just that why would we wrestle two guys that have a belt to give them our belts to give the you know what I mean, to get them back because of I didn't understand it, and we didn't understand it. It just made, to us, it was like, why I would rather wrestle you guys or Damon and Knight or whatever, and say, all right, this is better, or even wrestle like you guys, and they run in, and you get
Right.
what I'm saying, like
in the picture,
all of it,
and-
not just us or yous or something, all of
everyone
it,
built
all
the
of
whole
it. It was
division.
we had it,
Yeah.
we had it, and it just never ran like that, and it's just
And not too long after
that's what I was looking
you guys
for.
were going, we were going. And
it's just, but
it was a
listen,
shame. I wish we could have got to do the
yeah,
whole
but it's
deal.
okay. It's okay.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
listen, everybody say, Chris Blackheart, he's a brother.
Yeah.
And he did a lot for me and my son David. I mean, he let me go showcase my talents with my kid, and we did a lot with them. You know what I mean? I remember when I started with them, they were new. Blackheart started, and I was on the cards, and I was going, so there's a lot of history with me and Blackheart and
Yeah, of
his
course.
company. You know what I mean? He has a good company. You know what I mean? He does. And he doesn't do bad because he wouldn't still be running if he was. You know what I mean? And I know that for a fact because I've been to his shows and I've seen this company just keeps going.
Yep.
It keeps getting better. It's not something that just gets worse. You know what I mean? So I think if you get worse, maybe you should just let it go.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, how much worse can you take in how many years in a row, or even how many shows in a row? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it all depends on your wallet.
It's true. If you got that money coming.
Yeah.
So when you first went over to ACW, it seemed like you took Scott Levesque under your wing almost. Were there any other people on the shows that stood out to you guys, or when you first went in, were you looking around going like, all right, we can't have any more of that shit, but
No.
were you
it's
thinking
just-
like, we can probably use all these kids if they just
well, the
listen?
whole thing is everybody, when you go to and you go watch them, don't get me wrong, it was wrestling, but everybody was just like, you're like doing what you want.
Yeah.
And that doesn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. Don't get me wrong. You need some like sense of direction
Yeah.
to make anything out of it. And you're not really telling anybody anything by just flopping around like somebody threw your fish in the water, they threw you up on land, and
Yeah.
you don't know the hell you are. That shit can't go like that. So yeah, I mean, it wasn't about going in and taking people's spots or
Right.
making it worse or something. But the whole thing is the right people got together. We left Somerset with 12 people in the crowd and went to New Bedford at the soccer center, the old Hot Wheels, and drew 300 and something.
Yeah.
Okay? So the jump was like, wow. You know what I mean? Like, you went from 0% to like
Yeah.
tripling your, 100%. You're tripling it, man.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? It's unbelievable, And then, then that fell apart because the guy that was actually running it for us, he screwed that all up. He was actually ripping us off. You know what I mean? So
No, taking like extra money. Like,
always taking extra money. Even when we ran in Fairhaven, same thing. I actually sat and talked to the guy, and I said, wow, it's costing us that much to rent this hall was $500.
Yeah.
And he was the guy running it. He looked at me and he laughed. He goes, nah. He goes, no, man. He goes, it's only $200. So the guy that got us out of Hot Wheels, the soccer center, the guy that got us out of there, he went and told him, hey, tell them to go through me and I'll pay you.
So that's just
So the guy was making $300 off us, and he was
That's
just going to pay the
crazy.
guy for the VF the $200 behind our backs.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was funny because I sat down with a guy. I didn't even know him. I didn't even know Steve at the time.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
And he just looked at me and he laughs and he goes, "No, it's only $200." And that was it.
Yeah, you
Click.
just knew.
I went right up to. Hey, we even hit the guy up, told him to come collect it and everything. He never showed up. He never showed up.
He knew.
Yeah, he never showed up. Yep. So how many times that's kind of a bummer, because a bunch of people busting our butts to to do this, and you got a guy out there screwing us.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, you jerk.
It's just crazy. You're paying that guy more than
What the hall was getting.
Exactly.
Yeah. He was making a $300 profit, man. Are you kidding me?
It's crazy.
Good scam,
Crazy
though.
cash.
Good scam.
Now, what time did David start getting into wrestling, like training? Obviously,
2 years old.
Yeah, with you in the house. But I mean, like,
Well, all right. David, 2 years old. By the time he was 3, David already knew how to sell.
yeah,
Yeah. So David was. By the time David was 7, I already had him doing hurricanranas and swantons.
yeah.
And then when David turned 10, he gave me his first suplex.
He gave it to you.
Yeah, he gave me his first suplex.
Now,
Yeah.
was this in a ring? Where you guys?
Yeah, in the ring.
Outside?
In the ring. Yeah. Whenever I did a spot like that, it was in the ring. But when we wrestled at home, yeah, we kind of tore the house apart and stuff like that.
held him down.
Threw cushions
grappled.
on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I taught him how to do arm bars and lock up and headlocks, and stuff like that. So, but yeah, David learned from a young age, and the thing I did with Dave, my kids, when can I wrestle? When can I wrestle? I said, when you're 16, I'll let you have your first match. You can wrestle.
Yeah.
I would not let my kids actually train with, heavy training until because you can train as a little kid. Don't get me wrong. But you got to remember, smaller kids are not developed. That means their heart is still growing. That means your chest cavities is not that strong. You know what I mean? You grow until you're 18 or whatever they say. But at 12 years old, if you got a guy chopping a kid 3 times, you can actually hurt the kid really
some
bad.
Real, some
don't
actual
get me
damage.
wrong. And you got guys that'll actually bash you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then you got guys that'll thank you.
Take care of you.
Yeah, right.
So was David already wrestling at this time by the time you switched over to ACW?
No, yeah. Well, David wrestled for Top Rope. He was El Loco.
Okay, he was in a mass deal, right?
Yeah, I did that to kind of let him get used to crowds.
Yeah.
Let him get used to wrestling. See what he can do. If he messes up, they don't say, "Oh man, that's BrickHouse's kid." Kind of kept him out of my shadow at first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, because I didn't. He David at a young age, it's like, oh, my father's been around this long. Do I have to live up to his expectations?
Right.
Which, no, he doesn't, because even though he looks like me, talks like me, walks like me,
all
wrestles
these
like
things are
me,
true.
but hey, everybody's got to have a me, right?
Yeah.
So David's it. He just has to deal with it. But yeah, I'm retired. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna watch them. You know what I mean?
Right, that's what you're looking forward to.
And I don't have any more I don't have nothing to prove.
Right.
Like I said, I've done what I think I can do in 23 years and had a blast, and I'm still not done. I run my own shows.
Right.
I can hire the people that I've been around all my life with their family. Like I said, you guys wrestle and stuff like that, and everybody's young and stuff, like you said, the young guys. Us older guys, we watched all our kids grow up together.
Yeah.
We watched all our kids at shows. You know what I mean? Your kid went from 2 years old to 18.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then when you get to wrestle, like I said, I waited years, and my 2 boys finally wanted to wrestle. And man, it was so much fun.
Oh
It
yeah,
was so
I'm
much
sure.
fun. You know what I mean?
You got the picture right there on your wall of the three of you guys together.
Yeah, PWF, man.
I'm sure you guys had a lot of fun with the three of you.
Yeah. We it's a dream. It's a dream, and to get to wrestle as 3,
Yeah.
just even more better. Like world class championship wrestling just brings
Yeah,
back
Freebird in it.
just days like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
because we were the dumbasses, we were the heels, we were the jerks.
Yeah.
And hey, they hated us, man. When we fought you guys, man, we had heat.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? But you guys were over. That's what it's all about to me, and that's without even locking up.
Yep.
That's
all
wrestling.
the in between.
Right, exactly. So that's good stuff.
Now, so you went to ACW.
Yeah, I went to ACW.
Popped the crowds, like way bigger crowds than before.
Oh yeah.
And you're working a lot with Levesque. You and Ash too.
When I
Ash
saw
at the time.
Levesque, I said, this kid's got something, man. He just, I know he does. I know he's got it. And I mean, and then I worked in Levesque, and I never once hurt the kid. He gave me a bloody ear. He put fingernail marks down my back.
He does
that hurt like hell.
That damn back
Then
scratch.
all I felt was the sweat and stuff like that, and it's burning, and I'm like, I can't believe he just did that to me, and he made my ear bleed because he gives me that side uppercut, side punch that he does.
Yeah.
And
The rib kick, I say, is his most dangerous move. If you're on your hands and knees,
I don't know. I mean,
he might not rib kick
he
you,
made
but he'll sure rib kick
Hey, whack me in the
Monster Mack.
eye, he whacked me in the ear. I mean, I think he's done enough to me.
Yeah.
I think I got everything from that kid.
Yeah.
But like I said, I mean, he had it, and I could see it, and I knew he could have done some more. I saw him like going further than, Fairhaven. But that's everybody's choice. Like I said, you don't have to lace up and go wrestle your boots to go, say, hey, I'm here. You can own a pair of boots and stay home.
Right.
Wrestle and
Yeah.
put yourself on selfies. You know what I mean? Say,
Yeah.
hey, here I am. Click. That's today's modern thing is selfies.
Oh yeah, everybody selfies.
Yeah. It's all right. I try to stay away from selfies.
Yeah. So what do you think the downfall of ACW was?
Well, I don't know. I mean, deceiving. I mean, you're backing a guy up.
Because I know at those Hot Wheels shows, they were big numbers at first, but at the end, they weren't drawing very good.
Yeah, because, well, you got to remember, towards the end, the champions and stuff like that and all they quit.
Yeah.
We'd have half the guys quit that were, you know what I mean? And, so, and then plus that guy was, screwing us out of money at the building.
Yeah.
They were charging us double there, like $1,000 a month or whatever.
And that's crazy.
Yeah, it's stupid. But anyway, that's why we ended up losing that and getting out of there. And he hooked us up with the VFW, but he also tried to make $300 off us. You know what I mean? So it was like he was scamming us all the way. Scammed us there,
Just
scammed us
screwing you
here.
from every
He
end.
told us that the owner didn't want wrestling anymore. But I know there's new owners over there or something like that.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I heard some people recently bought the building.
Yeah. So that's fine. That's fine. I got the wrestler there again for top rope.
Yeah.
So it's all good. Like I said,
Well, with ACW, a lot of people, us included, everybody's had their issues with Dave Oliveira. What are your opinions on Dave Oliveira?
Well, I mean, I listen, Dave Oliveira. You back the guy up. You help him build a company that he would have never saw. I don't know if he couldn't take the pressure of having 4 times as many people as he ever had in his, in an arena. You know what I mean? I'm not saying 300's a million, but compared to 12, and you jump to 300 and something.
Yeah.
That's a big jump. You know what I mean? But backed him up. I mean, even Candido backed him up. You got to remember, like when Dave had everybody wrestling, but I jumped on board. I mean, I called Foster. I called, I got, hey, you want to come back and wrestle? Because, you know what I mean? So it's not like I tried to build what was left.
Right.
You know what I mean? And say, hey, man, these guys are all available, and you can have this roster mixed with your guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, some guys are complaining that, oh, man, this is turning into Yankee, and they quit, and, not instead of saying, wow, I'm going to wrestle. We got Yankee guys and we got ACW guys. man, okay, obviously Yankees been around for a long time. ACW wasn't. So why wouldn't you take the opportunity to fight us and learn from our crafts?
Right, yeah.
And not saying that we don't want your spot. You're going to wrestle us. We're all going to, you know what I mean? But some guys didn't want it.
I'm sure after that there was a weeding out process where a lot of the guys who just
They
it
just
wasn't
felt
in their
left out
hearts and-
because once the booking started going around like that, you know what I mean? Some guys felt like, oh, wow, that's all I get. Like,
But
you know
I'm
what I
also
mean?
sure it showed the people who were really serious about it,
Yeah.
getting in the business and learning.
But even though the guys that felt that way also didn't realize that, look how it took off. It took off. It took off. Now, you why not stay with a? Why not stay? This is what you dream of. You dream of taking off. Yeah, you got to remember, companies hire WWE stars to come to their shows to help sell tickets. Okay, it's the same. It's the same.
So, Dave, you guys pretty much he gets the roster revamped
Yeah.
because a lot of guys are disappearing.
Right. And, you know,
A lot of-
he's
of,
picking
like you
up
said,
more and
older
more and
Yankee
more.
guys
Right.
are
A lot
coming
more
in.
the Yankee guys.
Yeah,
But but why not stick around?
Right.
We didn't. Nobody took anybody's belts. Everybody actually was keeping their belts.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like you were going to actually wrestle one of us and probably get over. You know what I mean? And keep your strap.
Maybe learn something.
You just
Hopefully, learn
you always
something.
learn something.
Right.
You always learn something. I mean, you know, that just goes with every match you'll ever have in your career.
Now, how long?
You
did,
always learn something. It's
Yeah.
not always the same.
It's very true.
It's not. It's not everybody's the same.
How long was it that you were there before you started running trainings there with ACW?
Well, no, as soon as we were able to get trainings, because we all
it was
talked
just
about
right away.
it,
Yeah,
just start running it, you know, and we
Yeah.
did. And we did. And, we had, like, Vinny Marcellia, Matt Magnum, we even had Matt Taven,
right. Yeah,
come down and stuff like that too. I mean, it's just a mix of everything. We were doing good, and we had good shows. We had great guys. But like any company, they moved on. Even I moved on.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just when you think it's time in a company to move on, you don't have to say up yours or whatever. Sometimes that happens though.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sometimes
But
you just got to
don't get me wrong.
tell people to shove it.
I've had my issues too of
Right.
flipping off, going nuts. You know what I mean? So,
Everybody's got them.
but yeah, hey, it happens.
Yeah.
Tempers fly. But in all reality, you got to remember that you got to go back to normal life.
Yeah.
So get off. You got to get off that cloud. But don't get me wrong. You get caught up in the moment. So you say to hell with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what I got to goddamn say to you sons of bitches. You know what I mean? This is what I'm going to say. And sometimes it's not good, but you can only go forward. There's
Right.
no
yeah.
rewind.
No rewind button.
No.
Now, earlier you were saying you had a lot of fun working with your kids at PWF, but did you work with David first at like Lethal Pro? I remember you were running like trainings at Lethal Pro,
Yeah.
and then you were working with David, weren't you? There was like an angle.
Oh
he-
no,
he
we
hit you with, like a bottle of beer or something, a
actually-
bottle of wine.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. That was actually good. And I ran the angle with his brother.
You
And
did.
then-
You did two things.
Yeah,
with
yeah,
each of
I
them.
did that because that was the family feud we were having with the with Gino Giovanni and the Hagans, and they were getting in my son David's head and telling him, stupid stuff. So, but straighten that out.
Now tell me about Lethal Pro. You were running trainings there, right? And that place was pretty nice, right? The downstairs one.
I loved it because it reminded me of Cogswell Street. It had
Yeah,
it
yeah,
had the poles, and the seats around the
everywhere,
poles
yeah.
of the ring. So yeah, it was good. It was good. We had the ramp coming down with the skull and stuff. It was
It
good.
was like a projection. No, it was televisions, right?
Yeah.
TVs there. And there was some crazy ass like a break in, and somebody robbed a bunch of titles. and-
That's what they said. They I guess they ripped up the ring with a knife. They stole all the stuff in the back, the titles.
No, I know the titles got stolen because I don't know if you know this or not. the kid who robbed the LPW place, allegedly, I'm going to throw allegedly out there. I don't want to get anybody in any legal troubles.
Yeah.
Allegedly sold the LPW belt to the franchise Brian Sire,
Oh yeah.
who showed up to my house with it.
Yes.
And I immediately called somebody. I was like, hey, Brian Sire's at my house with the belt. And it was Davey. And Davey was like, I'm going to call Baker. I'll call you back.
Oh yeah, dude. I went
And it was
off.
just on from there.
I
right?
went off. I said, how would you even get that belt and not call the person that you know owns it knowing he got robbed?
Right.
That's the only thing that got me. And man, and knowing that we had a good thing going, and
it all got messed up by
obviously
that.
if you bought that belt, you know who stole all that shit.
Yeah.
And and that's what aggravated me. Now you want respect in this business, you don't go showcase something that you know, for one, is stolen, and for two, cut a business in half.
Yeah.
That
really messed
that's
that shit up. It
bullshit,
really did.
guy. That's bullshit. You know what I mean? If I would have hunted you down, I would have wrung your neck.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's bullshit. You know,
He showed up to my house, and I was
you
just
know
like, right away,
something.
I was like,
Well, I mean, but
dude,
you
what
know
are you doing here with this?
But
Get
you
out
can't
of
do
here.
right. You can't do nothing about it. That business is gone. It's done with. It's over. But yeah,
Brian Sire, you really need to listen to our podcast. We keep telling him. So if you know Brian Sire, tell him to listen.
I mean, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I got pictures. I tagged with him. I tagged with Brian Sire.
Yeah.
I did angles with Brian Sire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not about that. It's just that you bought a belt that you knew that it got stolen. Because how the heck would you end up with the LPW belt? Are you serious?
Yeah, like you don't know.
Where'd it come from? I don't know. I got it out of that 50-cent machine over there at Sears. You serious? You should know that shit. That shit should have clicked in your head right away. Right away. That's not a smooth move.
So yeah, it's unfortunate it didn't work out because the place was really nice. I like the atmosphere.
Yeah, it was good. Oh, it was great. I like the light they kept on the ring. It kept the audience in a little bit of darkness, not pitch black.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The entrance was awesome. You know what I mean? So, I mean, you had a great bunch of guys wrestling. I mean, like I said, you had a good locker room too, and we had decent crowds. It's not like you sold out the place, but we had decent crowds. They came there.
And again, you guys weren't. It's not like you guys were using stars. I mean,
No,
Fuller was on a
right,
few
but
of the
it's
shows.
not. Well,
Fuller's been around here
Fuller,
forever.
you can say Fuller's a star, but Fuller's a brother to me. I
Right,
mean, I
yeah,
traveled
he's-
with him just as much as I did MASH with. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, we were always on the road together. You know.
He was a regular, certainly around.
Yeah,
here.
exactly. So, I mean, yeah, Fuller did a lot, and God bless him. I'm glad that you see guys from do things that we done back in the day, especially back in the day. You know what I mean? So it's just good to see a brother even go work and get his step and get his shot. No matter where it is. You're a big company. Like I said, the WWE is not the only company.
Yeah.
Don't get me they're the granddaddy of them all. Don't get me wrong, but there's other great companies out there that you can actually have a great career working for.
Yeah.
Right, and make money.
And that's what the almost everybody's dream is, to be doing this and making a living doing it, right?
The whole thing is, remember this: wrestling is awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm retired now, but it's in me. It's in me. I think it.
It's true. When we showed up here, he was watching Starcade matches.
Yeah. I got that from Jordan. So
Yeah.
yeah. So it doesn't get boring to watch old stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh, certainly not.
Because that's the stuff. And of course, I'm watching Arn Anderson. Where I got my spine busted from. So
You heard it here, folks.
Yeah, you got to have somebody's move. You got to copy someone. It comes from somewhere.
It's got to happen.
Right.
So this is completely off the top of my head. I just remember this. Your song, I've always heard people say, like, why does he use that song? Did he steal it from Shane Douglas? Was it the other way around? How did you get your song?
I've had it.
You just always had it.
I just
Always
had
that
it.
song.
For years. I think, shoot, if I can remember right, I think I came out to 2 different songs, and then one day, it was like, I don't know, not too many matches later, like maybe 10 matches or 5 matches, and they played that song, and that was it.
You just
Sousa
knew
said,
right
"That's
away."
your song."
Yeah.
Yeah. So and that was it. It stuck from there. So I had it since the '90s. You know what I mean?
Right.
So and I tried changing it, but every time I gave somebody a disc or something, nah.
We got your music.
Nah, I'd come out and be like, what? Oh, man. And I would tell people, hey, that's Shane Douglas's music. I don't want to use it no more. Oh, no, you've been using it. You've used it all around here forever. You know what I mean? Whatever.
Song.
Whatever.
We've been doing that with I'm a Player for like 8 years now. Tech 9. Just, yeah.
Right.
That way when it hits, people know.
Oh, no. Right. Exactly. Like, you know, you'd played my music in New England, so when it played,
Yeah, people.
they knew who I was
Yeah.
and not Shane Douglas. So
Right,
it's
right.
like, so it worked out. And it worked out for Shane Douglas too. So
Yeah, the music worked for him, I'd say.
Yeah.
So you're working with ACW, LPW. Where else are you working? I know you work PLW, pretty much everywhere, right?
Yeah, I was working for Showcase and stuff like
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
and just running around, and then, you know, and we got into PWF, you know, and started running there and stuff like that, and Rich Bass came up to us and asked us, you know, if we wanted to, you know, go for the straps and stuff like that, and we were like, yeah. You know, and they're like, you know, you get the straps. You know, any strap you get, you got to be like dedicated and make their shows. You know, that means a company gave you a strap. Just make their shows with that strap.
Shows, yeah.
I mean, you say no if you're not gonna.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just say no. I can't hold that. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, and they were like, yeah, that's fine. You know, so that's when, you know, me and David started tagging. We did the running on Jose for NECW. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. You know, and that all started like back then. You know, so and then.
Now that's when you and David were
Me
tagging.
and David were tagging.
Now, what was it like the first time you worked against David? Because I know you guys worked a lot in ACW. You guys had some silly ass matches with staple guns.
It was
thumbtacks,
yeah.
just
Yeah.
nonsense.
He looked at me and he's like, Dad, we're using real staple guns with real staples. I said, yeah. I said, just. It's okay, man.
You'll be
Just,
all right.
just staple the hell out of me. You know?
Yeah.
All right. He did.
Yeah.
He did. I had them all in my forehead, man. And I was like, man, I think I had like, I don't know, 20 something in my head.
Jesus.
Oh yeah, I had lumps on my head for like 4 days, all swelled up over
Just
here.
everywhere.
Yeah, Scott, UPS Scott, I call him.
Yeah.
He was pulling them out of my forehead for me.
Let me give you a hand.
Yeah.
Now, what was it like the first time that you guys worked?
It was great.
Now, was it easy? Because it just went back to all those times you beating him up in the living room kind of thing?
Yeah. It's just because it just fit. We could work. We knew how to, you know, cut each other. It was almost like working Jose because, like I said, I've trained David since he was a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just David, he got it. He got it at a young age. He got it because, you know, at least when David got into business, he didn't like. He wasn't green. He actually.
He had an
He
idea.
knew he had an idea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then as he got older, I gave him ring sense.
Right.
You know, I got him in the ring. Let's do this. Me and you. I'd go there early, just to work with him.
Yeah.
We broke his arm. He gave me a hurricane DDT, whatever's out of the corner.
Yeah.
And he let my head go. And when he did, I came down on his arm.
Yeah.
And it broke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before a show?
So, no, it's practice.
Right.
Shows practice. And he goes, Dad, my arm hurts. I said, well, I said, dude, you know, you probably heard it, David. And he's like, all right, Dad. And he goes, he trained the rest of the night, never said anything. He just said, hey, Dad, it's sore. So
it's like, my arm's really
went
should've
home
been
and
this way.
Hey, it wasn't swelling though.
Nothing.
No, it was like it was messed up.
It was messed up.
So he kept complaining about it when he got home. He said it really hurt, and you know, and
turned out it was broken.
Yeah, took him in and found out it was broke.
Like, you've been walking around with this all day, dude? Like,
Yeah.
Man.
So no hurricane DDTs
Yeah.
for a while, David. You know.
Did it do that for a few months?
So yeah,
And then compare that to how it felt the first, like this. I can see the picture of your kids with the tag belts. I mean, you still wrestled, but you were more.
I did. Yeah,
kind
I
of
was the
role.
manager for them a lot
Yeah.
at PWF, but it was cool because I actually got to do like 6-mans, and I actually got to wrestle, and they were in my corner, and I got to be in their corner and cheat, and I always used the cane.
Yeah,
That was the only company I actually used the cane,
yeah.
except for Showcase. I brought it a couple of times. Showcase, yeah, it was my best seller.
You love the cane
The
deal.
cane sold more than anything.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
Now, you said it's always family first kind of thing. So obviously, you were involved in all your kids' angles.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've done so much of my kids just in their life growing up.
Yeah,
I did. I coached baseball for 12 years with David.
yeah,
The last 2 years, I watched him play Pony League. I did baseball with my 2 daughters. I did baseball with my son Devin. My daughters have been in dance. I did dances, stuff like that.
Were you out there busting a move?
So, no,
Okay.
that's usually when I'm drunk.
Okay, yeah.
Get shit faced. I start dancing.
Get a little wild.
Yeah.
When does House of Bricks come into play? You said you've been doing it for the last 6 years.
Well, like, all right.
Did it start off just a one shot kind of
Yeah,
thing?
it was okay. My boss Jeff was the president of New Bedford, the league.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, okay. So Jeff goes, hey, you want to do a show for us to raise money? So I'm like, yeah, I'll do a show for you to raise money and stuff like that. And I did a show, and man, it was awesome. We had over 300 something people, and I was like, okay. And they were like, would you like to do another one?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Well, this came out really good.
okay,
Actually.
I'll do another one. That's fine. And then, Davey Cash, highlight Davey Cash.
Yeah.
He was my first champ, and he came out and he goes, I am the House of Bricks top of the class champion.
Yep.
And that's pretty much how
Where
it
the name
took
came
off.
from?
That's it. It just took off, and so it was cool, And like he's the one that said it. He said that's what I'm calling it, teach. And I said,
Okay.
okay,
Do
sounds
what you
good to
do.
me. And it was good. So, and that's how it started. And then they've asked me back every year.
Yeah.
And now that I've been doing it my 6th year, I mean, I like it because some of the people that I've worked with out of all the years call me up and ask me if I have a spot on my card. You know what I mean? That's cool. That's cool. I mean, I do fundraisers. No, I don't. There's no money really going in my pocket. I get back what I put in, because if I was actually making money after 6 years, you would think I wouldn't have to rent a ring.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so you know what I mean. So it's not a like that. I try to take care of. Everybody knows that I do fundraisers.
Yeah.
Not all of them go, the way it's planned. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Of course.
I draw good crowds, but sometimes if you got a low crowd, you want to take care of the some people, the boys or whatever they so call. What is a payday? What is a payday? I mean, like I said, you'll spend more money on your hobby being a wrestler and traveling than you'll ever make. Really, really.
Yeah.
You're not gonna if you're not already 10 years or 15 years in the business and making money, then you're doing it because you love it and you're having fun on the weekends.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Nobody's breaking
Right,
bank.
right. You're doing it because you love it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's not a bad thing, because it's actually a good thing. I mean, that's why I think we're all wrestlers. We love it. We grew up watching it. It thrilled us.
Something
It's
connected us to
wow,
it.
these guys are wearing face paint. Wow, look at this guy. He spits green. This guy. And look at this guy, man. He's got one notch of hair up top. He likes to yank.
Yeah.
Hey, it's one of my favorite wrestlers, by the way. Missing Link.
All right, that's good. I'll
Yeah,
see.
like that guy. I'm a gimmick guy anyway.
Yeah, you always dug the
I never knew
gimmicks.
why I didn't do one.
Right.
I love
But
gimmicks.
you always liked watching them.
I love gimmicks, yes.
Yeah.
I love gimmick matches. Yep. Always have. Don't know why.
But we were talking about the House of Bricks, And I know you guys got some upcoming shows this
this
summer season.
Yeah, actually, I got.
Obviously, the one night only
few.
show, the 18th in April.
Yes, that's the
Did
Kyle.
You guys
Pentagas
returned to
Memorial.
Dias Field, right?
May 31st.
May 31st.
Yep.
And
Yep.
August 30th as well, right? You guys will be in Dias Field.
Actually, May 31st.
Yep.
Dias Fields, 109 Nauset Street.
Yep. I'm
Um,
glad you had the address because I didn't have it written down here. I just know it's Dias Field.
That's all right. June 26th.
Okay.
Nope, let me see. Nope. excuse me.
21st?
June 21st.
I have the
rather.
21st here.
It's July 26th. That's my fault.
Okay.
All right. June 21st is down the south end at the Mustangs Field
Okay.
for South End New Bedford Youth Baseball. Then I got July 26th back at Dias Fields.
Yep.
And then I have August 30th
Yep. And that's
at Dias
at
Fields.
Dias Field.
Yep.
And that's the people you guys can find out, get all those dates. Facebook.com/HOB Wrestling.
Yep. Yep.
And I think it's HOB Wrestling on Twitter as well. You can
Yep.
check all that.
Yes. Yep.
Again, you're supporting a good. Money's going back to the youth.
Yeah, it's just to help them, like, keep up with gas to keep the lawns, the lawns mowed, to keep the fields, to buy lime or whatever they
Yeah.
gotta buy, chalk or whatever.
Run the
Replace
lights.
some equipment, the lights. Yes, run the lights. You know what I mean. So it's just I don't have any kids that play.
Right.
There's nobody in the league. I've been doing it a while. My kids don't play in New Bedford. They're pretty much grown up.
But people, you're not lying in BrickHouse's pockets.
No, like I said, out of 6 years, I think I'd own a ring by now. Wouldn't
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Instead of renting them, you know what I mean, or having people help me out.
Now, is there any
So,
ideas, anything like that? That you'd be throwing around. I'm sure Johnny Fabo is going to be making an appearance.
oh, Johnny Fabo he's an awesome guy. I mean, I got him. He's on 4 of my shows.
What about GQ Smooth? It was good seeing him at your last show.
Smoothie.
Big Smoothie fan.
He is a pleasure to have around. He's a good guy. Yeah, he's always smiling.
So hopefully we'll
Good
see his
spirits.
friendly face around.
I'm
some of the shows.
I'm trying to get a hold of him. But like I said, House of Bricks is about opportunities for, like I said, a lot of people. There's a lot of people that I have wrestled, come in contact with, have become wrestlers because of watching Yankee Pro or whatever we've been in, so stuff like that. But hey, it is what it is,
So I just want to ask you a random question. Like, what were some of your favorite matches throughout your career? Is there any that really stand out?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course, my retirement match really stands out.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Not just because of the match, just because I retired.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, that's the end.
That was it. That was done.
Right, exactly. So I've had some good ones. I had a real good one with Andy Jacks.
Yep.
Up in Plymouth Memorial Hall. It's his hometown. And, man, that place was packed. And we rocked that place.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that was a great match. So I've had a lot of good matches. Steve Bradley was
Mofo.
top notch, man.
Yeah.
I mean, so he was a lot of fun. He was my I call my showman.
Yeah.
We did all the flips, the drops, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. Unlike me and Jose, I'll just punch you.
Yeah,
You punch me. I'll rake your eye. You rake my eye. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, but all in all, just good stuff, man. Just a lot of good memories. Sad that some of the boys had to, pass before their time. Or,
Yeah.
But if you knew the people, it's just all good people. I think wrestling just brings out, all the child in all of us and stuff like that, and our inner selves.
Now, BrickHouse, if you had to give any advice to say somebody who's listening right now who's just started trading or is thinking about getting into wrestling, where would you tell them to go? What advice would you give them?
There's a lot of training facilities. I mean, just like there's a lot of companies. I think every company can just about run a training.
Right.
If you have an abandoned building or even your own garage. I mean, as long as you got a ring and you're a company, anybody can train.
Yeah.
But I think it's all in who trained you and how you're trained. I think the guys that I trained with and Savano Souza being our trainer was outstanding.
Right.
Because I look at all of us and how far we have gone in the wrestling business because of that guy. And then you got guys that trained under me, you know what I mean, and have done something. And you got guys that trained under Bob Evans and have done something. It's not about who does what. You can go training, but it's who trained you. How good are you? When you go out and wrestle, are you representing, who trained you? You're representing a company. That means you're representing everybody that's in that locker room behind you, not just yourself. It's not about you. You know what I mean? But, we all look out for each other. Take care of me, I take care of you. But, that's not everybody. Everybody doesn't have to like everybody. You don't have to like me.
Right.
But I hope I earned your respect to respect me.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't sit and have, coffee and tea with everybody I've ever wrestled.
Yeah.
But to tell you the truth, a lot of people that I wrestled, I know all their kids, their families.
Yeah.
It's that close. And we were taught back in the day that close.
Right.
We stuck together like glue. We were family. I think today's changed a little bit where, everything's gone a little crazy in wrestling.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. It's got to change with the times, you know what I mean? What are you going to do? You change with the times. Everything's fast paced. It's not 1988.
Right. So you don't have any specific places you think they should to go?
Well, listen, I mean,
as long
if
as
you
they can
heard
find
if you
somebody
heard what
credible.
I talked earlier,
Yeah.
you're going to remember Top Rope has been around for 30-something years.
Yeah.
I know the trainers. I have wrestled them. I have trained with them. I have trained them.
Yeah.
Okay, so, yeah. I mean, if Top Rope is still around and pretty much a number one company in this area in New England,
Yeah.
and so why wouldn't you go to this
there
school?
yeah.
It's not brain science.
Yeah.
It's common sense.
Yeah.
If you go to a school and you're wrestling and you're not learning anything, but you're paying, and then you go and say, I want to try this other school out, and oh my God, you learn so much.
Yeah.
You have to, it's judgment.
Right.
It's judgment. When you go buy a car, I mean, you can go say, hey, let's go buy a couple Corvettes.
Yeah.
And you go, BrickHouse, let's go. I buy a vet, you buy a vet. Mine's red, yours black. Okay? Yours has all kind of mechanical problems. Mine runs like a dream.
Yeah, just no problem.
Go to the same place, though, right?
Yep.
Right? Same manufacturer, same everything. Okay. That's how it works.
Just
It's not the same.
Yeah.
It's not the same. Can't be. It'd be boring in the world.
And so any advice to people?
Yeah, just when you think about pro wrestling and you want to become a wrestler, I did it and a lot of other guys did it. Get proper training. Learn this craft. Because if you think you can just go in and say, yeah, I know what I'm doing, you got to get that chip off your shoulder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you're going to run into the wrong guy in a business, and he's going to knock that chip off your shoulder.
Yeah.
Okay? Wrestling is wrestling. Take care of who you work. Take care of yourself. You know what I mean? Be as safe as you can. You know what I mean? But you can't be afraid. You can't be afraid. Right. You got to be yourself. When you wrestle, go out there and just let go. Let go. Yeah, you are going to stiff someone. Yeah, you are going to miss someone.
Yeah.
Sure, you are going to bump wrong. Yes, it happens. But you're only going to learn if you go out there and give it your all.
Right.
You know what I mean? So just get proper training. Really, seriously, that's what it comes down to. Nowadays, everybody's like, hit the gym, hit the gym, hit the gym. Okay, fine, hit the gym. But I know this is now rather. Back in the day, if you could work,
you could get
Buddy
work.
Rose didn't have to hit the gym. Okay? Then you know what I mean? There's so many guys.
Yeah.
We were characters. We were characters. So all characters came in different shapes and forms back then.
Yeah.
Now everybody's got more muscle, and that's what it's about. Now it's all about muscle. So before, this is where it's hard for gimmicks now.
Yeah.
Okay? And if anybody watches, like I said, the 80s, 90s, gimmicks galore.
Right. Gimmicks for days.
You guys, the Monster Max, you guys have a gimmick. The whole thing is it's like, okay, you have a gimmick, but where's the other gimmicks?
Right.
Where are they coming from? Everybody's a wrestler. There's no more, you know what I mean, gimmick. It's you're coming up to your real name with a catchphrase.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what everybody wants to be now. I don't have to wear a mask. I don't have to do this.
Everybody
You know what
wants
I
to be
mean?
the badass.
Oh yeah. They want to be the muscle guy. But man, if anybody would ever realize that gimmick is easier, it's just a little easier because you can get in gimmick.
Yeah.
That's the plus. And then you get your moves. But when you're a wrestler, now everything has to happen okay, I got to be a badass. You know what I mean? I got all these muscles and I got to look like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know. But no, seriously, get training, get proper training. I mean, I'm not saying like if you're a backyard wrestler, you know what I mean, stuff like that, and you put your head through a pallet. Okay,
That sounds awful.
That's well, I'm just saying no, but that's
Yeah.
you're not learning because you're not learning. You're just doing something to land on and hurt yourself. I'm not saying there's something wrong with backyard, but fine, own a ring in your backyard, but find someone that can actually have common sense to train you. Something you can like. When you go wrestle, somebody says, "Oh my God," instead of saying, "Wow, look at that. That was a nice shine.
Right.
That was a nice shine. That was a nice shine. A little slow here, little here, but good ending. Good shit." That's called like lifting your spirits.
Right. Yeah.
But if you go and do what you want, then why are you even listening? You're not going to listen. You're just going to do what you want.
Right. If you don't get.
Yeah, just get proper training.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. And yeah, get exercise. No one ever said you go lift 500 pounds.
Right.
Just
do some
if you
running.
got to get on the squats. We did a lot of squats, a lot of leg lifts.
Yeah.
A lot of jogging, a lot of leapfrogs and stuff like that. So, and we ran around the gym. We did laps. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We did. Everybody just stretches, get in the ring, now start bumping. You know what I mean? Before we a good hour, man, we're stretching our bodies completely. I mean,
Then it's time to
till it
train.
hurts.
Yeah.
Then go train and then that hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It all hurts.
Yeah, it hurts. It does hurt, but just get training. Really,
Yeah.
seriously. If you're really thinking about a career in this business, just get in shape. You don't have to be Hercules or Hulk Hogan or the Hulk or whatever. You just have to just be in shape. You know what I mean? It's not like the old days. Now it's in demand. Wrestling has gone to a faster pace. So yeah, I can see it like it is now. Just get in shape and get properly trained, and just know where you're going to get trained. And there's a lot of schools, but like I said, I mean, I'm from East Freetown, in New Bedford area. Fall River's right up the street, 10 minutes. Top rope,
Yeah.
Go to top rope. I mean, really, seriously.
Now, speaking of that, you said that wrestling is just a faster pace now. Do you enjoy watching any of that stuff, like the PWG or the Ring of Honor? Or
All right. I actually, I don't really watch too much wrestling.
Okay.
On TV.
Yeah.
I'll catch it with, some guys and stuff like that, or I'll go over someone's house and catch a pay-per-view once in a while.
Right.
That's actually just to be over their house, actually.
Yeah, just kind of you enjoy the company.
Yeah, I actually like watching old films, like of back in the day, like when we ran and stuff. All like collections I have and stuff like that. I'm not worried about the WWE and stuff.
Yeah.
So now that I've been running, like I got the now I'm doing House of Bricks 6 years. You know what I mean? So I have that. So even though I'm retired, I'm still doing in the business. I'm still
living
doing
through it
something.
that way.
I'm still doing something good for people. You know what I mean? And I can hire who I want, pretty much. You know what I mean?
Just do the show that you want to have.
I'm showcasing, a lot of the students that I've had and other people have had, and just let them chase this.
BrickHouse, I want to say it was a pleasure having you on, man. I really appreciate you letting us do this.
It's
You
good,
told us we
it's
were going to
good.
be the first people that you'd do it with, and you
Yeah,
held true to the promise. It's
no,
true,
It's true.
and we
It's
appreciate
true.
it. And we want to get some plugs out there before
Go plug it.
we do anything. Mac, you have any other questions for BrickHouse?
No, I just wanted to thank him for bringing us down to the actual brick house. And it was awesome. It blew me away, and I would love to have you, your sons on all together. We
Yeah,
gotta
I mean,
get
we
some
have
more
to do
microphones
something.
in this piece. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I
We're
feel like
gonna
one
get
of
it
them, feel like
together,
one
get
of them
some more
feds.
mics.
One mic.
Hook you up with a mic. We're gonna hook me up with a mic. We're gonna hook Devin up with a mic.
Jeez, all right.
So I think your next appearance that you're doing is a Spotlight, right?
Yeah, I'm doing Spotlight TV. So,
April 4th?
Yeah. I'm supposed to be doing that with Jose.
Oh, it's you guys together,
yeah,
right?
Jose, I think's with me too.
That'll be interesting.
Always,
I wanna check that out. Yeah,
always
you
interesting.
two there.
Here we go
Wait,
again.
Spotlight's coming back on the air for that too. I know
Yes, I think so.
they
I think
stopped
so,
running
yes.
for a little while.
Yeah, yeah.
I think they had one recently. I just seen the advertisement.
Yes,
Yeah,
they have one recent, but it's good to see Scott's back.
Yeah, I've always enjoyed watching some Wrestling Spotlight. So we got House of Bricks on Facebook, HOB Wrestling, at HOB Wrestling on Twitter. You guys got May 31st, June 21st, July 26th, August 30th, and of course, one night only at
April
at the
18th.
Favorite VFW,
Favorite VFW.
April
Yeah,
18th.
tickets are $10. Let's go for a good cause, really. All my other shows at the baseball fields are all $5. I mean, it's just general admission. There's no seating at any of my shows. If you're first in line and you get there and you sit in the front row, then that's how
you
it
got
goes.
a good seat.
You got a good seat. That's all it is. So, I'm just hoping for good turnouts for all the shows, and I thank you, Max, for having me here, on your show.
Oh, thank you, man.
It's
It's
cool as
a
beans,
pleasure.
man. All right, man. Thanks.
And we just want to say thank you again to NewRepublicPrinting.com, making the badass Mac shirts you see on the regular. You can check them out on Facebook.com/NewRepublicPrinting or NRepublicPrint on Twitter. Mac, it was a pleasure to have BrickHouse with us, man. It was awesome. I'm real glad he let us look through his BrickHouse binders, too. It was pretty cool to look through the old photos before we hit the podcast.
Yeah, if you ever come to the Mack Cave, I'll show you my collection.
Not quite as impressive.
How much do you have, actually?
It's a good 5 pages.
Not bad, not bad.
There's some decent spacing in there, too. Yeah, we got
It's not your Mac coloring books, is it?
No, I mean, it's a good idea.
Look at them too, if you want.
I know. That's cool. That's cool. We're good.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been our pleasure. Everybody have a good night.